It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego now I'm on, I'm on do. My ego diary, I be number one. Ayégun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó dòdòdò. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Ayégun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Máyégún diary politico. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kó.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Máyégún Live. Thank you so much, brethren, for joining me. And welcome to the Temple of Truth tonight. Please read the caption of this broadcast, which I believe you must have. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it. Share it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Máyégún today. And if you have done that already, thank you. So tonight, we are, we have this supposedly bad news of Doyin Okuigbe, the obituary of Doyin Okuigbe. Now, just a little bit of caveat, okay? In life, it is advised that you should do right by the people. When you have the chance of doing what is right, please do it. So that we don't have to come to your barrier. Do you understand? And start lying about you. Oh, he's such a wonderful man. Oh, this is a great loss to honestly lies. I have been reading some of them, and I've also been reading the reactions of people to the news of the demise of Doyin Okuigbe, one of Nigeria's kleptomaniac criminals, who tried, right, to rebrand during the time of the obedience. He did try to rebrand, but that didn't really end well, because the same Doyin Okuigbe, who people are now kind of believe that misled the young people to believe that they could possibly, take their country back from the career criminals, drug dealers, human traffickers, treasury looters, and so on and so forth, only for him to turn around to call thiefnubu Jesus Christ. He actually called him that. So again, brethren, in life, you are advised to at least do the right thing when you are still alive. When I say right thing, right, we all know what is right and we all know what is wrong. And we know those who have been, who have been regularly the career criminals of that contraption, where, those who have contributed to whatever it is that the people of Nigeria are facing today. Everyone who has played that one role or the other, we know them. We know their names. We know where they are from. It is just that they are so lucky to have the gullible people, voluntary slaves, those who actually loved their own criminals differently. You get what I mean? So again, welcome to the Temple of Truth tonight. I don't know, I can't look like a babalawo. Let me put on my agbada. So again, please share this broadcast, okay? As you are sharing, inviting others, right? Just tell them that they should keep all of their emotions aside, because on Máyégún's diary political, no matter how kind of like uncomfortable the truth makes you, it will still be said. And if you are not going to, if you don't have the skin for it, if you don't have the stomach for it, you are advised not to watch Máyégún, at least maybe not tonight, or maybe not this hour. It's up to you. Okay. So, brethren, we shall start. It's going to be brief, okay? We shall start from that of the demise of Doyin Okuigbe. Doyin Okuigbe was, I'm going to be using words for him now. Was an old man, right? Who is also an ex-convict, by the way, that from nowhere, right, surfaced and said, oh, you know what? We could rescue this contraption. And the young people in Nigeria, the obedient to be precise, right, decided to forgive and forget all his own evil, Doyin Okuigbe happened to be, Obankbaro's advisor. He was a spokesperson for Obankbaro. Then he also became a senior advisor to Egbere Jolantan. He was the one who once said that people should be grateful that they are being given locomotive trains. All right. That was when Egbere Jolantan was doing his own train refurbishment and what have you. Right. So when he came back and he said, Nigeria will be finished. He said Nigeria will be finished if APC should continue, referring to thiefnubu at the time. Then suddenly, right, I think he fell ill, right? Or he's been suffering it, underneath. So the bottom line is that there are those elders in that contraption, okay, that somehow their evil contribution to that contraption is the consequences of what people are reaping today in that place. Now, if you do know that you have a terminal sickness, which means you can die anytime, isn't that time for you to have what is called the do you call it recompense? There's something they call it in religion, where you just have to begin to try to be, make up for all of your bad deeds, because your days are numbered. But the likes of Doyin Okuigbe, who actually claimed to also be a Christian, by the way, do not subscribe or did not subscribe to that, that line of thought. To them, it is always about the highest bidder. Some said they used a compromise on him. That was why he suddenly just reversed his position. And others said, no, you don't know him. He is a born criminal. He has a career in it. Even as corrupt as Nigeria is, as corrupt as their system is, they still manage to jail him. He's an ex-convict too. So his escapade in the last 6 months is not the type to show that a man who is dying or a man who was dying, right, have any kind of a regret of all his actions whatsoever. He doubled down. He called thiefnubu, he said thiefnubu has taken decisions. This is a twist now. This is like a turn, a switch that shocked so many people who initially were warned that this guy is a criminal. There are many like him. Criminals also grow old, okay? Foolish people grow old. Criminals grow old too. And like I said from the beginning, do right by the people. Do what is right so that we don't have to come to your funeral, okay, and begin to lie. A lot of his own friends are possibly lying right now. Oh, he's such a wonderful man. It's this or that. So the last 2 years of thiefnubu has brought untoward, unimaginable hardship upon the people of that contraption, like Nigeria. But somehow, the level of propaganda that they have been pushing, right, the one that will continue to confuse you, not to convince you, confuse you, if maybe you are the problem, or maybe you are so blind that you can't see how Nigeria has improved, that you are only seeing how Nigeria has sunk. This propaganda that they are pushing, it actually works on some people. Some said it is gaslighting, okay, where you are not expected, okay, to point out the evil of this thiefnubu's regime. You are not expected, okay, to be outspoken, speak out so loudly about this, thiefnubu's kleptomaniac, directionless regime. In fact, you should be grateful. Like they told you then that you should be grateful that Buhari was your presidiot. Now, I do not have any tiny bit of whatsoever sympathy for Doyin Okuigbe. He is dead now. But my own concern is this. He knew that he was dying. He knew. Which means he had no real soul, okay, to start with, put it that way. Then secondly, what he was doing when he was with Obasanjo and then Jolantan, that actually got him convicted of, looting, of fraud, stealing, all right? And then the effort to try to want to rebrand via you, the obedient, which also backfired. So somebody who knew that he was dying, I mean, it will be at a time where you probably will live the rest of your life being honest, transparent, and sincere at that age. Doyin Okuigbe was neither of that, none of that. In fact, some said that maybe because he had this terminal sickness, cancer, that he was dying, that maybe thiefnubu and co promised him, probably he was broke. I'm kind of like just speaking in third party now. Sure, you get what people are like, comment of people like, what could have prompted a dying man, right, to decide to become a mouthpiece, free of charge, maybe, like the mouthpiece to further help gaslight the citizens who are speaking up, standing up against the brutality, the impunity, the corruption of the APC. Like, why would you, in this God's earth, why would you join the bandwagon of those to help thiefnubu lie to the people, gaslight them? It is a question that even Doyin Okuigbe, who is dead now, can't answer. But there are many Doyin Okuigbes in their 50s, in their 60s, suffering, smiling, but at the same time, looking forward to getting called to the table for whatever the crumbs it is that they have to share. Doyin Okuigbe died just a few days to his 74th birthday. He's not a young man. So I have a lot of questions, and I know I will never get answers to them. But what was he thinking when he went on channels and said this?
No administration in Nigeria has ever beaten the bullet that Bola Tinubu beat. Nobody. Because for the past 20 years, everybody has been dodging the ball, dodging the bullet. The issue of fuel subsidy during campaign, everybody agreed that it must go. It was wasteful spending, and they say that Bola Tinubu, without thinking, on the day of inauguration, he announced it. If he did not announce it, he would never have been able to do it. Because if he says, oh, we're going to remove fuel subsidy, but we're going to do it, if he didn't on that day, he would never have been able to do it, and he would have been forced by labor, by media, by opposition, by students, and all sorts of people, with the fear of the hardship and the pain we're going to go through and all that, he would never have been able to do it. And yet somebody, it's like, I always, I'm an evangelist now, I must say, in heaven, when God was saying, who is going to go for us? That is somebody has to come and be crucified for the world. And Jesus Christ said, send me. That's what Bola Tinubu has done. He has sent himself into this quagmire, into this doldrum, into this financial and economic disaster that was on ground before he came. He's just trying to find his way out. Do you understand my point?
When Jesus came down, he died and he rose. He was able to conquer death.
That's savior of the world. Yes. But is not savior of the world.
Do you think that he will be able to rise? Do you think he will be able? I'm talking about Mr. President Tinubu right now. Do you think he will make it out of this?
Let me share an example. Let me tell you, I know people are going to say I'm saying something. There's nothing wrong in saying something nice about somebody you know. Let me tell you something I've not shared before. And it's not even surprising. On the 21st of March in 2022, I put up, I was at that time running for president myself on the PDP, if you remember. And I said, if Bola Tinubu wins, I never gave him a chance. If Bola Tinubu wins the primaries, that he will do well, and that he was perhaps going to be the second best person to me. That's what I said. But you know, that's because I know the gentleman. I have had, you know, so many years ago, maybe about, I've not seen Bola Tinubu now in 7 years. I've not set my eyes on him. Maybe I spoke to him about 5 years ago on telephone. That's all. But what I'm saying is this: one day in Bodinon, on a Saturday morning, I drove by his house, and by strange coincidence, there was nobody in the house. It was just him in his 90. So we went in. We spoke for 3 hours. That was the day I changed my mind about Bola Tinubu. He told me, and he showed me the master plan for Lagos. And he said, Doyin, I said, yeah. He said, if we put a goat as governor, from now for the next 25 years, nothing but progress will happen to Lagos. I said, how? He then showed me so many things. That was when he showed me the 4th Mainland Bridge, the airport at the Lekki Free Trade Zone, you know, the marina. What they planned for marina, they have not even done that. It's going to be like Paris, where all the ground floor of the shops will be shops, and then there will be living quarters upstairs and all that. So I asked him, I said, if you are this good, you know, and you say, Yaradua is your friend, why didn't you just even advise him? He said, just wait. He went upstairs. As I'm speaking to you, I speak to you as a Christian. He went upstairs, brought, I remember, a red flat suitcase, a briefcase. He opened it and brought a 25-page document addressed to Yaradua on what he thinks the president should do. And I went through it. And, you know, I marveled. This man is a political maverick. If he's given encouragement and allowed to do what he's doing, I don't have proof. It's not scientific. But I have a gut feeling that he will succeed.
Why didn't you campaign for him instead of Peter Obi?
I never believed that, number one, he was APC. You know, and APC and I have a running battle. That's why they convicted me. I never believed in APC. And I didn't think, I knew what was going on. I did not see Bola Tinubu. I mean, his party was against him. The president was against him. His protege, VP, was against him. The Senate president then ran against him. So everything except God was against him. So I didn't see him as somebody who was going to win the primaries. You
didn't think Tinubu was going to win the APC primaries?
I never thought so.
When he won the primaries and became the candidate of the APC,
then I knew there was trouble. Because I know him. I knew there was trouble. Bola Tinubu is dogged, he's rich, and purposeful. I knew he would fight.
APC is under new management right now. You could join the APC. Do you belong to any political party right now?
I don't belong to a political party now. I have gone beyond joining political parties. I've done my bit.
Well, you could be a statesman in the party, help them steer.
I don't have to be in the party. I'm a statesman.
And to hell with him. Somebody said, may his soul rest here in peace. Okay. I say, may, if he has any, because he doesn't really have any soul. If there is hell, may his soul burn in hell. There is no master plan for Lagos. You see all those things he said there, right? They were pure nonsense to start with. It is part of what they have actually been pushing out for years about thiefnubu. Let's start with that subsidy removal. Everyone during the charade election, everyone believes that the subsidy payments in Nigeria should be looked into because it's mostly corruption. And among the contenders, like Doyin Okuigbe, said in there, okay, it was a thiefnubu who actually, during his own campaign, told people in Ogun State, right, that whatever it is that people were paying on petroleum at the time, if it becomes your presidiot, what does that mean?
wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀, àbàmìwálẹ̀. Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀.
That is contrary to what Doyin Okuigbe said. I remember, this is also fact, okay? I remember that Obi, when he was asked about this your subsidy or no subsidy, what did he say? He said subsidy would have to go, but it will have to go in stages, which means you start removing it in parts so that you deal with the corruption within it until you have an alternative, a way to cushion the effect of the outright removal. You do not have to remove the subsidy straight up. That was clear. But for thiefnubu, who had no real clarity, right? Other than just, it didn't even make any real promise per se. It did not. Okay? So he woke up, he didn't wake up. Well, I can say he woke up, right? So he was sworn in, and the first thing he said was that subsidy was gone. And immediately, the Nigerian economy tanked. Talking about, I was driving through Bodilon, and I just said, oh, let me just check him. Let me check if this guy is at home. That's what he said, that madman. He said, oh, let me check if he's at home. So when I check, and in Bodilon, so when I get, it was the only person at home. He was in his pajamas, right? And he just took me upstairs, and he said, Doyin, see, this is Lagos master plan. We are going to build Port Mainland Bridge. We are going to build this, that. Nalayo, there's nothing like that. Before thiefnubu became the governor of Lagos State had, this is in the past tense now, Lagos State had public running water. In our own house, in Elukpeju, we had public running water. Before you now have this generator economy, borehole economy that you are now running now, right? We used to have the drinking public water in Lagos. So their master plan, and if you go check very well as well, during the thiefnubu's time as your governor, where all they did was just like Jeunsoke, Jeunsapo, just whatever you can take, Babati Sobeka, Jeunsoke, that time, and then in the midway, they had their fashola, and they started talking about Lagos master plan. Nobody has seen it, because it doesn't exist. Today, Lagos is one of the dirtiest states in the whole world. Dirtiest concentration of people in the whole world. Lagos, even though it's very rich, because the IGR economy, the rent-seeking economy, just take and take from people, can actually make you very rich in this regard. So somebody who has a plan for a country, all right, using other conjectures and other nonsense they put together to make you feel like there is this wonderment going on in the Lagos mega city. 2 years down the line, Nigeria Naira is tanked. Nigeria economy tanked. Unemployment at the highest. Abinobi so. And for 2 years, thiefnubu has been able physically to attract $30 million for the giants of Africa. So, Doyin Okuigbe, for some reason, all right, at that time, that he knows that he is dying. You would expect somebody like that. Number one, he is an old guy. Number two, he had a terminal sickness that he was going to die. And then number three, he deceived millions of young people, making them believe that they could save this contraption, Nigeria, by getting them to jump up, participate in a charade to validate the charade called election. So only for him to dump all of that for an ass-licking job, that you kind of have to be like, you sure say this person gets sold? No, I don't think so. He never had one. So wherever Doyin Okuigbe is right now, if there is hell, he should, right, enjoy it and burn. And that's what we're going to say about so many other people whose actions, inactions, participation, contribution towards the destruction of this contraption. That's what we're going to say about all of them, every one of them. So do right by the people. Again, do right by the people so that they don't have to lie at your funeral, at your burial. You don't have to lie about me. Like, for example, now, if you see the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, those ones who are now the emergency lovers of Nigeria, now they love Nigeria because of thiefnubu. So you get now. So these Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, if I die, they don't have to come to my burial and lie. They will just say we disagreed with him so much because he never stopped berating our revered criminal leaders. That's all. Do right by the people. Do what is right so that when you die, we don't have to come to your burial, to your funeral, and begin to lie. Oh, he's such a wonderful man. He is a great Nigerian. He worked so well for this country. He contributed greatly. Oh, we are going to miss him. Lies. Go and read some of these obituaries that people are going to be putting out for Doyin Okuigbe. Omo will leave that and go to the next thing. Remi Werepe, rant. That is Remi Ahmed thiefnubu, which is your first, your vex. I kind of prefer to call her vex lady. Your vex lady, Steve. Thank you very much for that. Your super chat, by the way. Thank you. So the ongoing brouhaha, the ongoing bullying, political bullying, as well as the abuse of power, coordinated sort of defense for a sex offender. That is the Akpabiole and his gang. Now you have this different coordinated media sort of campaign to make you believe that, you know what, we are not going to do any investigation because they are not going to do any investigation. Okay? Natasha accused Akpabiole of sexual assault, sexual harassment. At the same time, accused him of abuse of power. Now, there is a committee in the National Assembly, right, that is saddled with the responsibility of verifying all of that, whether they are true or not. Investigate it, report back, punish those considered to have heard. But they don't do that. They decided that the person who raised an alarm must be punished, and then a campaign of calumny should be launched in order to protect this Akpabiole. Remi Werepe was asked. She's a woman. She was a senator herself, right? So the idea of women supporting women seems to have been seems to kind of be like alien to the contraption, and it's understandable. Women in the Senate chooses to side with the men. Great. Then the vex lady. As we currently have different women groups speaking up, trying to push, like, this is not right. This is pure bullying. Okay? Like, everybody will be interested in how this plays out. Okay? Like, is she lying? There must be a mechanism, a system to detect that. Not all these guys jumping from one television station to the other, radio, news, everywhere, right? Trying to attack our personality. Because that's what they do. Nobody's addressing the allegation per se, all these guys. They are pretty much attacking our personality. Oh, she's this. In fact, one person who's claimed to be the spokesperson for the Senate or so, right? This madman, right? He said he actually came out to say, Natasha, like I said, attacking personality is the way to deviate or kind of like a divert attention from the real issue. Okay, said Natasha, who happened to be the mother of her 3, okay, she had her first child when she was about 17. All right, so she then went on to get married, where she had another 2 children. No, sorry, yeah, I think 2 children. No, having 2 children, she lost her husband. Her husband died, so she remarried in 2022. So making it, that she's married twice. But one of these rows came out and said she's the mother of 6 for 6 different men. And some of these Ronukus, this APC, to them, that's a very good one. That means this person shouldn't be listened to. That she's sexually harassed by the Akpabiole, the Randy Akpabiole. Like, you know what you're going to do is that you have to continue to attack our personality, all right? So that people will begin to kind of question our own integrity. And in the long run, okay, we are going to ensure that nobody talks about the harassment. Akpabiole will never be held responsible for this harassment or whatever it is. And it works well. They have the population of gullible rogues, gullible morons in that contraption who are pushing it. They even have protesters. And guess what? Just yesterday, some group of women came together to give Akpabiole an award. What was that about? They said Akpabiole is the most gender-friendly Senate presidiot in the history of that contraption. So right now, that Natasha has been suspended, Akpabiole is rebounding. And to Remi Werepe, the senator has done the right thing by nipping this allegation in the bud. Okay? And meanwhile, according to their Senate rules as well, okay, you cannot suspend, a senator cannot suspend another senator. And if anything happens at all that, for any reason, a senator has to be suspended from plenary, right? It can only be for 24 hours. The most extreme, it is in their book, the most extreme, it can only be for 14 days. So when 9 years ago, when what is his name again? Ali Ndume was also suspended for blowing whistle on the Senate corruption at the time. He went to court. There was a court ruling that actually clearly stated that you can't, he's elected just like you. You can't suspend him. 6 months suspension is like 9 months away. In case if you don't know, it's not 6 months. 6 months suspension is like 9 months away. You don't have such power. And there is also an injunction as well that said Natasha shouldn't be touched. She shouldn't be suspended, right? But they violated all of that. And to Remi Werepe, rats. Senate is not a place where people, in our word, I can't really quote her, okay? In our own words, listen.
Like I said, and women, I celebrate you. Keep doing what you know how to do. Lifting your head high. And I know with what is going on in the Senate, you say, why am I not taking a position? So, but I believe that Senate is doing what is needful because that's what it is. It's an inside place and it's a matured chambers. We shouldn't be hearing things like that. It's a matured chamber and it should be treated with respect. It's an honor for you to be in that place alone. I was there for 12 years, even in my younger days, and I'm still trying to look young, But people compliment you all the time. Only that, just put your place in yourself. Women, raise yourself high. Don't be in a position that men will be talking to you. You can always shut them down before they start. So all the very best. Keep doing your best. Happy International Women's Day. Like I said, and women,
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Did you hear that? Oh, give me 1 second. I want to put something up. Because it's also hard. Remi Werepe. Right. Did you hear that? According to her, a woman should understand when men are just joking about your body, making passes at you. So you shouldn't kind of take that too serious. The Senate of Nigeria is a very serious place where, here you get, so as a woman, right, you should know when men are just making passes at you, just, you know, kind of making a joke and all that. And that she is very happy, right, that the senators handled it very well, which means they suspended her. Remi Werepe. That's not the only thing, though. Ridiculously, right? There was another clown, Fashui or something. I think, is it Fashui? No, I think, okay, we mentioned his own name. He will kind of say his name now. That one said, Natasha is not even old enough to be his own younger sister. They are normal. Where people like him, they, right? Natasha shouldn't be allowed to be talking. Senator, elected senator. The guy is from Ekiti. He said Natasha shouldn't be allowed to be talking where men are talking because she's not even old enough to be his own younger sister. I'm not joking. This is the madman.
That's this man. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Mr. President, yesterday, I felt so bad that an allegation of such magnitude was raised against you in the presence of our international visitors. I felt very bad, and I put myself in your shoes that if I was the one, what would my family say? Only God knows what the international visitors will have as their opinion. Mr. President, I want to first of all support the position of Senator Dandusi that recommendation 2 do not be included in these prayers. You don't give an avenue to somebody who is recalcitrant. You can only give avenue for somebody who is willing. If somebody is willing, even today, what we saw this morning about another petition on the same issue should not have come up. Mr. President, it is always a pleasure when I come into this chamber and I see people like Senator Oji Uzo-Kalu, a 1999 governor, Senator Goje, 1999 senator, 1999 minister and 2-term governor. I always feel very happy shaking hands with the likes of Senator Lawal. And I put myself as being a very lucky person if I stand and I shake hands with even the distinguished Senate President. I know where I was in 2007 when you became a governor in this state, in this country. And I know it is not for mere guys, mere people that can become governor in your state. In terms of age, Mr. Senate President, I felt so bad that on that fateful day, Senator Natasha can speak to you the way and manner. Senator Natasha cannot be my sister, my junior sister, because I'm 15 years older than her. My mother does not have anybody that is 45 in age. For her to point at you and speak the way she spoke to a number 3 man in this country is an affront. In my village, nobody will accept that. So for anybody to now put this option number 2, that if somebody It is not supposed to be an, it is supposed to come from her willingly. I want to apologize. That's a different thing entirely. Mr. Senate President, when we get to prayers, we are going to vote on all these prayers. For me, I want to also end this by coming to you, Mr. Senate President, even if you are not there. I want to lead you to the book of Isaiah 54, verse 17. The book of Isaiah 54, verse 17. And it says, and I say to you, Mr. Senate President, that no weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. Senator Abbo, no weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. And every tongue, Senator Akpabiole, that rise up against you in judgment shall be condemned. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the vindication from me, says the Lord. Sorry, my Muslim brothers, that I don't have the Quran. Mr. Senate President, you are a nice man. You are a good man. Senator Werey Wike said something that Senator Natasha benefited greatly from you. Very greatly. And Senator Ferdinand just said something. You don't have friends. Because if Senator Natasha and the husband can do what they have done to you, then who are your true friends? When this issue happened, I asked Senator Natasha, is there a problem between the SP and your husband? She denied. And I was wondering, when the senator came here, we extended a lot of courtesies to her and the husband. Several occasions that we have attended, Mr. Senate President, we create seats for the husband in the midst of senators when he is not one. That shows we respect your friend. And most times when I see you, I always see you in the same car with the husband. If a friend can treat you this way, can an enemy treat you better or worse than that? Mr. Senate President, you are a kind man. You are a kind man. You are a kind man.
Nuisance lele.
That is a madman from Ekiti. Ekiti people. You have a lot of Oluribuku somebodies in abundance. Oh. Now from that same Ekiti, you have Paoleshe. Now there Fayewon comes from. It is there Opeyewon Bawandele comes from. It is also from that place, Ekiti, APC, Egbekegbe, made you vote for thiefnubu on credit. Now that is where this Oloribuku is also from. Let me give you a bit of an idea or understanding so that you can understand these characters a little bit better. Natasha, her husband, they are friends with Akpabiole's. Fine. Natasha made an allegation. She said, behind the scene, Akpabiole has been making a direct advances to her, in which she found really much like unacceptable. Number one, you are closer to my husband. And you can't be making this kind of statement or this persistent to me. And since I said the one that took place inside Akpabiole's office, where Natasha told Akpabiole that I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that, sir. He went to Akpabiole's office to protest. They continued, the continued, rejection of Natasha's bills by Akpabiole, ignoring her. He went to protest that, and Akpabiole told her that, listen, I am the senior, what do you call it? the head of this National Assembly, so to say. And I can make it easier for you. I can make you go places. All you have to do is to play balls. And he told him and said, Mr. Senate Presidiot, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. And then he was like, okay, we are fine. Suit yourself. I'll call you when I feel like I should call you to speak on your bill. That happened between the two of them. There is no investigation launched before these guys started going really, really mad. Because they are reacting. Their own reaction is that, how dare you accuse the number 3 man in Nigeria of making sexual advances towards you? They haven't investigated to see that maybe it's a lie or truth. But they are banking on that and they are punishing her for that. Right? They are speaking passionately about something that is not investigated because they do not want it investigated. Outrightly, it should be thrown out. One of them that said, what's that one's name again? That Labour Party guy, the head of the ethics, the Senate ethics and what have you. That one categorically said the petition is dead on arrival. It must be killed. And Natasha herself must be punished for daring to come to the public and say that. Oh, there was another lunatic. This one is from the northern part of Nigeria. That one feels like, how dare not? Wait, before I even go to that. Baba, even if I am 18 years old, elected by my people to go and be a senator, and you are 80 years old, elected by your people to be a senator, number one, that I'm 18 doesn't make me your junior. I'm not your son, your grandson, or whatsoever. We are colleagues in this chamber. That's how it works. So courtesy demands that respect goes both ways. You want to be respected? Then you have to respect yourselves and respect me. You have to respect people. Respect goes both ways. You don't demand respect where you are disrespecting yourself and disrespecting your own supposed colleagues. Or shameless humans, low lives, scum of the heart. They are those in charge of that contraption. The worst of Nigeria are those in charge of Nigeria. And therefore, majority of them are personally, like, did you hear where he said, when I look back in 2007, I know where I was. It was a nobody. But today he's a senator. So he's wondering, how could another senator that I am 15 years older than be coming here to accuse people who are older than her? You know? There's something I'm going to say about these older people too in Nigeria. But I want you to listen to this mofo from God knows where from.
And then I'll call the leader of the Senate to end it. The senior senator, Danduse, he doesn't speak always, so let him say something.
Thank you, Mr. President, my respected colleagues. This matter is very important for us to look at it with all sense of responsibility, because this institution is an institution that must be respected and appreciated in terms of making law and in terms of following due process. And if you look at the public discourse on this very important issue, and if you look at the type of stereotype of form of perception and the negative and the unfortunate situation this distinguished Senator Natasha, after all the appeal made by her prominent senators from her state, she continued to go to the court and continued to go to the public instead of to refer to the Committee on Ethics and Privilege. I think if we are not enforcing our constitutional responsibilities, I urge this Senate to expunge the second recommendation for that the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenure of suspension of Senator Natasha shall, if she submit a written apology to the Senate before the reconsideration by the Senate, because she has the leverage to do what is needful as a matured and responsible woman. But this fact that appeal by my neighbor, she went and destroyed the names of prominent leaders of this institution. So I'm against the lifting of any or reducing any suspension less than 6 months, which was recommended by the committee. And at the same time, if we are not imposing our laws into those that breach the law, so that means our coming here is meaningless. Because if you look at all of us here, we have the mandate of Nigerians, and we go through vigorous campaign to come here, and all the burdens of Nigerians are under us. We are under serious pressure, and all of us, if you look at us, we are under serious stress and under serious pressure by different people on this very important matter. So as a matter of fact, if you look at the 10th Assembly, how many people died because of the pressure of the people. And this negative and stereotype form of perception, which was created by disgruntled elements because of their selfish and myopic thinking, will allow them to be continued to come into this right chamber. Mr. President, and respected colleagues, with due respect and sense of humility, generosity is being encouraged in all religions, whether Islam or Christianity. But law must be imposed on anybody. That is why Nigeria, we are having a lot of problems. If we are not imposing law on lawmakers that break the law by creating stereotype and negative perception against all of us, that means we are nowhere to be found independently. Mr. President, my respected colleagues, prominent state and prominent individuals that are here, all of them are under serious discourse. I saw His Excellency, the former governor of Ikeja State in Arise. I saw him in channels defending this institution, this sanctity of this institution. We cannot allow ourselves to be put under serious stress. We have a lot of things. Under this assembly, we are trying to solve most of the existing problems we have inherited since
nuisance lele.
Werey is talking about the pressure they are under from the people. That some of them even died. So we cannot let a senator to continue to mount pressure on us. We are under pressure. I don't know how to kind of imitate him, though, but you all heard him. So whatever it is that your question is, right? I'm going to ask you to hold on to it, okay? Because, number one, some people struggle to even understand what he's saying. But in a nutshell, he was there to remind everyone that there is no prayer, that Natasha should, should be coming back. So she won't come back, according to them. She will not come back. And if she, after that 6 months, if she wants to come back, right, she would need to write an apology letter and apologize to the Senate and say, I am sorry that I got sexually harassed and I raised alarm on it. So it is a place where, in Nigeria, especially from the parts where I come from, we have so many unfortunate older people, all right, who somehow, right, they have built this reputation of irresponsibility. But then you can't hold them responsible for anything. When you try to, right, then you will be considered as disrespectful. You will be considered as rude. And if there's a way they can severely punish you, they will not hold back. These are a bunch of irresponsible people, right, who somehow, they have been part and parcel as well, okay, of the rot in the society, including, you see this level of sexual harassment. I call it a rape culture in my own kind of like, interpretation. It's called rape culture. It is a culture where if you are a woman, okay, there are some certain things that they want you to believe is already rigged against you. For example, if I will use powerful now, because these are not really powerful people. These are a bunch of cowards, okay, hiding behind whatever they call it, power. It's not power, okay, it's pure, misplaced, what have you, okay. So there are those who believe that if you, for any reason, if a man, a powerful person or rich person, for example, right, sexually harass you, you are not really expected to make a fuss about that. Like, why are you making a fuss about that? Are you trying to destroy his house? You want to spoil his home? You want his children? Do you know what this man did before he became who he is? So, like, do you know how many women that will kill or die on the heel of this man just to kind of have one moment with him? So there are those who believe in this. They are like older people. Even though we now have the younger people who have been, mentally kind of like destroyed anyway. So the number is growing. But there are some older people. I'll use some now. Okay, who never really see, like they don't really see corruption as a bad thing. They've benefited immensely from it. They do not see sexual harassment as anything. And if you look at them very well, they are also the most bigoted people ever, older people. Oh, you don't know that? Because you do. The older people are the most bigoted people with ingrained bigotry in their system. And they have been the ones working like the devil, okay, to recruit younger people into these bigotry schemes of a thing. Older people. They are the ones that have this culture of, if you are from this place, do not mingle with the people from this place. And when you ask them why, so they will make up stories to justify the, what do you call it, the recruitment, the bigotry recruitment, because I call it recruitment, because that's what they do. The older guys. So if you are a woman, sometimes you be like, well, the West, as Western education seems to be more, should be more enlightened when it comes to some certain subjects, Abi, or you'll be surprised, that they are as gullible, as much as they are as bigoted, they are as selfish, as much as self-centered as they are. They are like the textbook definition of what is really wrong with that contraption. I'm speaking as a Yoruba man now. You know? So it is such a toxic place where being a woman, it's like being disadvantaged. But if you are a man, you probably have a mom. Of course, you do have a mom. Maybe I don't have mom anymore, but I did have mom. So you have a mom, you have a sisters, you have maybe daughters, and in this world, right? People who will sacrifice other people's, female relatives to satisfy whatever is their own insatiable sort of, what do you call it? They are also as protective of their own than what you can ever imagine. Akpabiole has 2 girls ahead. If any of Akpabiole's daughters comes home to say her boss at work sexually harassed her, what will be the first reaction of Akpabiole? Shut her up? Call the boss and praise him? Say, how are you? My daughter came home now and said you sexually harassed her. I've told her off. Because man to man, I don't want to believe her. That won't be the case. You all know what the reaction will be like. So those of you who are men, right, who are jumping into the bandwagon, because you can easily tell as we speak, right, you can see horde of people who are trying, like walking like the devil, overworking, like walking over time, okay, to attack the personality of Natasha rather than the veracity of her allegation. On the one hand, right, they are all talking as if to say, oh, it's been investigated, it's been concluded, or she lied. No. She hasn't been investigated. The allegation hasn't been investigated. It was not to be entertained at all. That is the subject. That is the agenda. So if you have a female child, or you have a sisters or mom, and you are joining them in trying to attack the personality of Natasha, right? Maybe this message is for you too. It is. So the one that is a Labour Party guy that proposed that Natasha should be suspended, like I said, no senator can suspend another senator because they are all colleagues, except that Akpabiole is just first among equals, which means as elected leadership of the National Assembly, right? But it is not bigger than Natasha. There is a court judgment that says you can't suspend a senator, but they did anyway. You know, there is a court judgment that said they shouldn't suspend her, but they did anyway. Because according to them, a court cannot tell them how to do their job. They didn't really investigate this allegation. No. There is no investigation or nothing. No. And everybody's reacting on it. She's guilty. But we do know who is guilty. Listen to this mofo too.
I went to the office as I left the chambers and I found a notice from M.J. Numa and Partners, LLP. They say they are trial attorneys and transaction advisors. And they have presented to me a motion and a rolled order from the court attempting to stop this committee from doing its work. This is unacceptable. Indeed, we should actually let the world know that there is what they call separation of powers in our constitution. The judiciary, like I just told you, if there's a matter before them, we do not touch those matters. We know as parliamentarians what our rights, privileges are. And one of those things is we moderate what we do in the Senate. It is not subject to any court. And so in the Senate, whatever happens there happens within the Senate and not subject to any other court. The issue before us today is the issue of an alleged misconduct of one of our distinguished senators on the floor of the Senate. And there are rules that guide such conduct and such behavior. It is not subject to any court outside this committee.
Nuisance, Lele.
So if there is a rule that says an allegation is made against the Senate presidiot of the contraption, so a committee is expected to take the petition, Abi, investigate it. No be so? But in this case, no investigation. To them, Natasha is guilty. And that guilt is that without any investigation or nothing, no, they believe that she lied against Akpabiole. Our petition was not taken. It was rejected. So which means inside that petition of ours, evidence was supposed, the committee was supposed to invite her and say, okay, bring evidence. They didn't even wait to do all of that. Like you can sorry, I know some of you have already been putting bet on. It will remove the cap soon. It will remove the cap. I know. It's already itching me in the head. Like I'm feeling so warm from the head. And I don't like it like that. So let's let the hair breathe to my head. You know? So your job is to invite her and say, okay, yeah, your allegation, yeah, bring the petition. Now we are going to ask you some questions and we would love you to provide us all this evidence. They didn't even do any of that. Baba, it was outrightly rejected. This mofo, this guy said, the allegation and the petition is dead on arrival. DOA, dead on arrival. We are not going to open it. No, we are not going. No. Without any of that, right? They went on and proposed that they didn't invite her. They didn't look at her petition. They just went on to propose that she must be suspended for 6 months. So who has something to hide here? And then they went on into the media where they started this campaign of calumny, attacking her she has 6 children for 6 men. Which is not true. Or she has accused other people of sexually harassing her, this or that, you know. So this is not true. She must be punished. No investigation. I like what this guy said on the matter.
A right to a seat, it's a privilege because the right to be in the Senate is by election and a certificate of return. Do not forget, you and I cannot go there. So once he raises that point, it is a duty under Order 10, the famous Order 10 she was shouting about, of the presiding officer to have suspended all other matters. I consider that a very serious issue and taking her complaint and make a formal ruling. But if you watch the proceedings on that day, as the distinguished senator was shouting Order 10, Order 10, I already heard the presiding officer talking about prepare her for suspension. Review the tape. We've seen it. You were already preparing her for suspension even before you.
So was it fake accompli?
Oh yeah, it was completely.
They decided our fate even long before the ethics committee was even.
It was predetermined, and then beyond that, the question was, at the time they went to court, the issue was that there was a thinking, a suspicion that she might be suspended. That was why she went to court. If you don't stop them, they will do it. And then they did it in spite of receiving the order. Now, I said to them, they were wrong. Section 4, subsection 8 of the Constitution is clear. In the conduct of his legislative powers and duties, their conduct shall be subject, all right?
Yeah. It was all predetermined, just like I said. Prepare to suspend her. We have to suspend her. And indeed, if you review the tape 2 days ago, she must be suspended. Suspend her. Suspend her. Look at her petition. We have to suspend her. And that's exactly why, like he said, that's why she went to court, to stop them. He said, the committee should at least do its job. Your job is to take my petition, right? Investigate it. Even if you are still going to come and punish me by saying that I lied, at least pretend to do your job. You get what I mean? Pretend. Try. Pretend that you are doing your job. Pretend. But these ones don't want to pretend. You know, bunch of narcissistic, misogynistic animals in a contraption where they see themselves as so much above the law. They are above the law. You know? And that's why they had to suspend her and see if they can shut her, organize an award for Akpabiole. Papa, they gave Akpabiole award. Women gave him award.
Have you ever wondered, did you take stock when you were with me, when you came to see me with your women leaders? Did you ask me, when did this issue happen? It's only yesterday that I realized that what we are talking about happened only after the change of seats in the Senate. That is when hell was let loose and all sorts of allegations came up. Only after the change of seat in the Senate and change of the committee, which my senators know happen from time to time. Said to have happened on the 8th of December, a day to my birthday, which was celebrated in the stadium in 2023. So from 8th of December 2023, I never heard, my wife never heard, no Nigerian never heard, even the husband never heard any issue of sexual harassment until our committee was changed, and then our seat was changed, and she went on. Have you ever wondered the trauma caused by that same woman on the other people she had accused in the past? None has been proven so far. You've not wondered. Do you even wonder the trauma caused to the 10th Senate and the image of the Senate with all these useless allegations? I've refrained myself from making a statement. Look at these beautiful women. They've come across me so many times. Have I ever harassed any of you? Or is the person thinking that you are not beautiful? So I don't want to dwell on that.
Nuisance, Lele.
You see the line of arguments. So it is like, let's say somebody is raped and years later, maybe 2 years or 3 years later, they decided to come forward and tell their story. And then the first response of people will be, why did it take you so long? Why didn't you talk about the rape when it happened? Why do you have to wait till now? Do you get that now? Like that happens all the time, doesn't it? Right? It happens. People will say, why didn't you come out then? Especially in a country like Nigeria, where rape culture is part of their culture, unfortunately. So the victim will be torn apart, torn into shred, and everybody will be taking a piece, like a piece of her like that, make a mincemeat of her, until she will regret ever coming forward. It happens here too. But do you know the difference? The difference is that there will be team of strong goal-getter lawyers that will say, you know what? If it's just you, this guy may never get punished, you may never get justice. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it a class action. So we will make an announcement and say, if you have been harassed, sexually raped, if you have been raped or harassed by this guy, assaulted, we want you to come forward. You'll be protected. And boom, you may see 10, 15, 20 people come out. That is not Nigeria-like, doesn't happen in that contraption like that. Because it is a place where there are unseen hands that will begin to kind of like threaten you. If you are not Natasha, you can't come out and say, Akpabiole sexually harass you. I bet if they have a working system where women are asked within that National Assembly in, in Akwa Ibom, and say, if you have ever been sexually harassed or raped by Akpabiole, could you please come forward? And then this list of women, they will come forward, protected. That can happen in that contraption, can it? The same Akpabiole that says that Natasha has accused other people of sexual harassment, which is part of what they have created right now. They have created something like that now by saying that she accused other people of sexually harassing her, that she's the most beautiful and all of that stuff. Is she the most beautiful? Are there no other beautiful women? How come they are not saying that they are sexually harassed by this or that? The same Akpabiole has two other women whose record are public. One of them knows the Nigeria that they live in, that he will never be punished, and she rather took her own pound of flesh by slapping the shit out of him. And then went on TV to say it. I slapped shit out of him. I know this is Nigeria, this is a lawless place. These guys are mostly untouchable. Nothing is ever going to be heard or what have you, right? Fine. But I took the law into my own hand. I gave him a slap. Or maybe next time, if you are being sexually harassed by Akpabiole, bite him and tell people that I left, a bite mark on his arm, or I left a bite mark on his penis. Something like that. Because when it comes to justice, you may never get one, ever. Not in a place where a lunatic is your vex lady. A throwback to the woman who was supposed to be a woman, or rather, rats in her own normal, typical nature. No matter how much package they put together. But they even put any package together to make Remi Werepe look different. This one.
a máa rìkọ́ọ̀dì a máa lọ gbé gbogbo àwọn òrìṣà Èkó wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní àwọn ipò tó bá bá ìgbé wa wọ́n lè ní ọjà tí máa rì ipò tó bá dé ti fẹ́ Yorùbá ká jogún ẹ̀ a máa jogún yín ni a máa jogún gbogbo ipò tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí ni wọ́n lọ ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn gbogbo wa lẹ́ máa jẹ a máa ṣe a máa jogún yín ni lágbára dé ìtẹ́ ṣe bá ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ yìí tó ẹ̀bà ara jẹ́ àwa kan bínú à ń bínú ọmọ wa sísáàbì tí wàá lọ bímọ fún Ìgbò ṣé kí n lọ pò Obieze wa Obieze ilẹ̀ ti gbà bọ̀dé olórí Obieze ilẹ̀ ti gbà bọ̀dé ó tún lọ mú kámẹ́rà wa lọ plé ẹ̀ ní sí ẹ ti gbà bọ̀dé a máa jogún yín ni àwa la máa jogún yín àgọ́ wa ló máa dáàdì ẹ̀ a máa jogún yín láì ṣe pé yìí nìkan ni aráàlú Haúsá wà ń bí àgbà wọn láyè Kàlàbá wà ń bí àgbà wọn láyè ẹ wá ń bèrè pé báwo ni tí wàá ṣe jẹ Ọlọ́run.
Nuisance leleyi.
So a woman that said, we are going to inherit all the Igbos, which means they will inherit all your properties. Start something politically, chase you away from Lagos and claim your property. That's what she's saying in that video. And that was because the Igbos won't vote for Bokwari in 2019. And to her, that is disobeying the directive of thiefnubu. thiefnubu directed you all that we are going to have to vote for APC. You Igbos are questioning that. We will chase you out of Lagos. And they have been working on that. Yes, they have. They've created the My Lagos is not your Lagos. Abi? In 2023, we all saw what happened. In 2027, you will all see what will happen again. These are the characters leading the system, leading the people. And at the end of the day, creating a system of hatred, division, tribal division, religious hatred. So all these things you are witnessing in that contraption today, orchestrated by these rogues, they are not coincidence. They are not accidents. All this hatred you are witnessing today online, offline, against the Igbos, Igbos versus Yoruba, Igbos versus this and that, the Ronukus and their gang, they are not coincidence. They are not an accident. They are not, one-off or what have you. No. They are industrialized bigotry, industrialized hatred for political gain. No thanks to APC. You know? You have all body. Let's leave that for now. Let's go back to that same Lagos. We are going to stay in that Lagos. You know, yesterday, the supposed Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian military, they invaded. Hang on, I think they even gave us a name. Give me a second. I want to get a name of that place. Right. They said that it is called the Sam Ethnan. Yeah, Sam Ethnan Air Force Base in Ikeja. The story was that they were owing money. They were owing the electricity company. They were owing electricity bill of, we didn't know how much, by the way, then. So they were owing, and their electricity got disconnected. In anger, in rage, they invaded the office of the electricity company, attacked all of their staff, 10 of them hospitalized, their CEO locked in a trunk of a car, boot of a car. So this morning, it now came, it became clearer why that happened. About 4.3 billion naira. That's how much the Nigeria Air Force Base in Ikeja is owing the electricity company in Ikeja. They haven't paid. They won't pay until they went on to attack the office of this electricity company. Watch this.
We came on board on the 1st of November 2013. And as far as this Ikeja, this Air Force Base on that road at Ikeja is concerned, their bill from 2013 November 1 until December 31st, 2022, their total bill was 7.5 million, 7 billion 564 million 153,000 naira. That's 7.5 billion.
This is as of
and they
2023.
Paid from 2013 to 2022, December 31st.
Okay.
So they were owing us 7.5 billion, thanks to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, particularly Mr. Tunde Fashola, when he was Minister for Power. So they paid 4.3 billion, leaving an outstanding balance of 3.2 billion. That was before 2023, 2013 to 2022. So in 2023, they ran up a bill of 1.4 billion naira. And they paid, in 2023, they paid 1.2 billion naira. They refused to pay their arrears. The billing or the bill was not in contention. That was not the problem. But they were always doing this gra thing, reminding us all the time, and we are the one protecting Nigeria, as if there's no military in the USA or in Europe, as if they are not even paid for what they do, as if somebody is forcing somebody to go and become an Air Force personnel, because that's the blackmail. Now, so in 2023, the bill was 1.4 billion, they pay 1.2, remaining 191 million naira. So we kept on asking them to pay. In 2024, their bill went up slightly to 1.5 billion, and they paid only 623 million naira. Now, this is the catch. we can say with all sense of responsibility, this new government, when they came on board in 2023, this current president made it very clear to us and to our investors that they will pay MDA debt, military department agencies. And I know they were giving them money. That was why they were able to pay 1.2 out of 1.4 billion in 2023. Surprisingly, in 2024, out of a debt of 1.5, they only paid 623 million naira. What happened to the rest of the money? Between the Federal Minister of Defense and Ikeja Air Force Base and all these officers. Now, so the outstanding balance for 2024 was 893 million naira. So the summary is this. As of today, total debt is 4,340,566,000 naira. Now, this debt is the reason why we started asking them to pay. And the man we were dealing with, the Oga Patawata, who is higher than the president and commander-in-chief, and I will say what I mean by that. This gentleman is called Air Vice Marshal A.K. Ademulegun. So we had a series of meetings with him, but in June 2024, the people that we sent there to go and ask for payment were beaten up at Ikeja Air Force Base. That was the first problem we had with them. So on the 29th of July 2024, because of this non-payment, we now decided to write them a letter. So the MDC of Ikeja wrote them a letter telling them that we are sorry, we have to install a device called auto recloser. That auto recloser, the job of that is to enable us, a service provider, to manage supply of energy into any particular place. In other words, we can determine through that machine how many hours we can give that community or that place, depending on their pattern of payment, their ability to pay, or their willingness to pay. In the case of Nigerian Air Force, they are able to pay, but they just don't want to pay. The government will give them money, go and check their appropriation, the money will disappear along the line.
Okay.
So we send them the first letter. I just want you to know what we have done to try and recover amicably. First letter, because we have written 5 letters so far. So we wrote the first one to tell them about that auto recloser. Now with that, we can agree between us how many hours you want. We had a meeting with the AVM Ademulegun on the 3rd of October 2024. And he didn't like the idea of this auto recloser because they want to be using 24-hour electricity without paying. We now say, okay, give us access to install prepaid meter. So you pay as you go. There won't be any wahala. You put money, you get your light, you pay. 24 hours. Bandeo. Okay. And then this was on the 3rd of October. And we agreed as gentlemen between us and them. We said, while we are waiting for you to respond, we will ensure that you have 11 hours of supply using this equipment from October 3rd to October 7th. When they did not get back to us to tell us about payment plan or how they want to pay, so on the 9th of October, we wrote another letter to them, formally requesting for access to install prepaid meter. They ignored our letter. So on the 25th of November 2024, we wrote another letter to say that on Monday, the 2nd of December, our contractor and technical staff are coming to your premises to install prepaid meter. And on that day, our people went there, the Nigerian Air Force authorities sent them back, blocked access, and they did not allow us to install the meter. Then we noticed that they have vandalized and tampered with the equipment, auto recloser. They did that twice. They actually disconnected the communication cable, which is a criminal offense. For that reason, we now wrote another letter to them on the 17th of January 2025, detailing all that they have done, calling their attention to the law, to let them know that what they have done is against the law. And all these correspondence that we sent to them, including the last one on the 5th of March, we copied the chief of air staff, so he's aware. Wherever he is aware. We copied the AOC logistics. Okay. So after doing all of this, Yesterday, in my own business, I had a meeting with them, came from Abuja day before yesterday. So I went there yesterday morning because they were going to commission a solar power project. On getting there, at 7:35 a.m., we just saw so many trucks, just like you said earlier, and they came started beating everybody, including pregnant women. They asked everyone to lie down on the floor. They brutalized everybody, including the chief technical officer of Ikeja, who is still in the hospital as I speak. And that's the man who is supposed to turn the light on. So I wonder how the presidency or anybody or the government will react to this kind of barbaric act.
They don't beat the person who is supposed to turn the light back on. They don't beat them to stupor. Beat them to coma. No, not coma, but stupor. Stupor is when you're like vegetable like that. They don't beat shit out of you. A lawless country. He's right. The corruption is the reason why the Air Force Base in Ikeja is in bad news. I mean, it's in the news for wrong reason right now. Okay? According to this guy that you heard, right, the money has been given, appropriated, but the money gone missing before it got to the supposed account department of the Air Force in Ikeja. And the only way they could resolve this is through the assault, attack. It is a lawless place. It is a lawless country, unfortunately. Somebody said, Ewa, waiting at it, like, what exactly are they possibly producing in the Air Force Base in Ikeja? Did they grow wheat? Because the only reason why you can be using such amount of electricity in a year, 1.5 billion, is a base, Sha. Ikeja base, is it that big? Because from my own findings, right, from my own understanding, every person living in the place, if you are an Air Force personnel, okay, and you have your own house in the base, they will be deducting money for electricity from your salary. That's how it goes. That's how it works. They take money. They will deduct whatever you are using from your salary. Then they will now remit same to the electricity company. So plus the money from Abuja, the money from Abuja, plus the salary deduction of their staff, I mean their personnel, none of this is really remitted completely to the point that 4.3 billion naira is being held by the Air Force Base, and their only negotiating ticket is that they fought. They are the ones protecting you. They fought for the protection of Nigeria, the defense of Nigeria. You know, again, it is a lawless place where anything can happen. Imagine you working for an electricity company, and then you just resume to work that morning, getting to settle down and all of that, and then the next thing you hear is that what happened? What happened? Run, run, or else, Baba, and you go end up in the hospital like you went to work, from work to the hospital. Just imagine that for a sec, in a lawless contraption called Nigeria. And according to one of the staff, right, he said they destroyed, when they came in, the first thing they did was to start destroying the security cameras, the CCTVs. Then the next thing is to go after all the staff with phones and start destroying their phones, smashing everything they can smash, just to make sure that they cover up all the atrocities. Then they went into the building and start vandalizing everything they can vandalize. They also vandalized the man that was supposed to turn on the lights. You know? It is a lawless place. That's just a quick reminder. For those of you who might care to listen to this.
The head of corporate communications, Ikeja Electric. In my young adult life, I witnessed something that I've never seen today by men of the Air Force, some Etna Air Force, Ikeja, who are our customers and then because of electricity supply and because of indebtedness, they invaded us, beat us up, carted away our laptops. You have gone in earlier, they destroyed the entire corporate quarter of our business, as well as our Ocean business and other locations around Ocean.
Welcome to Nigeria. Even Akpoti also added his own voice to this matter. Listen.
Finally, on Ikeja Electric. In the 80s, when Babangida was still president, we had the Mad Dog episode. The Mad Dog. It was the Nigerian Air Force, this same Nigerian Air Force that embarrassed Chief MKO Abiola, and they were referred to as the Mad Dogs. To hear that in 2025, we have the return of the Mad Dogs of the Nigerian Air Force is very embarrassing. It's an indication of the kind of problems that we are having with this democracy. Now, Major General Air Marshal Hassan, I think that's the name of the Air Force chief, and the Chief of Defense Staff, they must look into this matter. Those crooks wearing uniform who took the law into their hands must be sanctioned. They must be identified, because the Nigerian Air Force operates under the Constitution of Nigeria. Nobody can say that they are above the law, whether you are wearing uniform or you are wearing camouflage. If you are owing, you pay for electricity. What they did at Ikeja Disco yesterday, I think is something that the Nigerian Air Force should publicly apologize for. If we don't pay electricity bills as civilians, they cut off our lights. Exactly. So why should soldiers be different? They must pay.
They must pay. That's it.
Well said.
Thank you.
They must pay. They must pay. Oh yeah, may everybody gather together. More go to that Air Force base as reminded. You must pay. You must pay. Everybody must pay. They must. I am being mindful of my time because I want to take us this evening. So it's been a while that we had our usual interaction and reactions, all right? So I'm being mindful. But let's go to Italy. Lombardi is called. It is an autonomous region of, it has an autonomous region in Italy. So they've got their own president ahead. And Werey Wike, according to him, he got an invitation from this president of Lombardi to come and discuss bilateral agreements. You know, Werey Wike is the governor of Abuja by context, right? Is the governor of Abuja. So like other governors who travel and say that we are going to attract investors, I kind of have to kind of like give it to him though. Okay. In 2024, yeah, by the available statistic, okay, in 2024, when 4 states, say 4 states, they had to call Abuja a state, okay, 4 states out of 37 states, all right, only 5 states rather, attracted direct investment to their domain. Abuja attracted over 600 million. Lagos attracted over 600 million in dollars, right? What is that one's name? Kaduna attracted 1.9 million. Enugu attracted 800,000. And there's another one there, I think it's Bayelsa or something, attracted $86,000. So Werey Wike is in Lombardi. And it is this conversation that I actually decided, that's why I'm sharing the story, okay? So apart from the fact that those that traveled with Werey Wike from Nigeria lined up in a room and they were taking pictures because Werey Wike was shaking them like the thiefnubu would do whenever he traveled out of Nigeria. So those who traveled with him, he would shake them at the airports. And when they get to their destination, right, thiefnubu will also shake them because they have to welcome him to come down. They have to say goodbye in Nigeria. Then they will enter the plane. When they get to where they are going, they will come down first, line the, the pathway or so. So thiefnubu will come down and shake their hands because they will have to welcome him to the country they are going to. Werey Wike did the same, but that's not in this video, okay? His interaction, by the way, with who may call the president of Lombardi. Those of you in Italy, how is Lombardi?
The officers can now work out the details, which aspect of agriculture, which aspect of the vocational education that we are talking about.
We are very strong in education because there is an education, national education and a regional education. In the regional education is expressed for works, you know,
vocational training.
Yeah. Technical education. But it's not low education, it's very good education. Because you can do a lot of works and you can work for the future, because a lot of education is about software, is about innovation, is about technology, and it's very, very important. We are was the best region in Italy. We alone work for 30% of technical education in all Italy is made here in London.
That's actually what we like, because some skill gives you self-employment, and that's what we intend to do in Africa.
Esattamente, anche perché queste competenze danno la possibilità di lavorare in proprio, quindi di avviare un'attività in proprio, ed è esattamente quello su cui vogliamo lavorare.
You can try to organize something in your country, or you can come here to learn our type of education, you know.
Yes, that would be good if we can have where our children first start and come here for vocational education to learn some, like I say, technologies or skill work. And before we talk about establishing such institute in Abuja, then in terms of agriculture, we will be able to say, okay, can we set up this in Abuja, so we have a fertile land and to have a particular mechanized agriculture.
In termini di istruzione proprio spieghiamo un po' di scambio di questo tipo dove il nostro personale anche può venire qui in Lombardia e imparare proprio dalle vostre di istruzione, e ribadisce il fatto che nel suo paese c'è molta terra fertile, quindi anche di fronte dell'agricoltura ci può essere un partenariato e uno scambio in questo senso.
As you prefer, you must say us what do you want to do, if you want to send here your
yeah, we'll have to send people here to establish something that...
Sì, vorrebbero prima di creare questi istituti di formazione professionale ad Abuja, vorrebbero proprio venire qui e imparare
e vedere. Okay, it's a good idea.
But we'll start.
Possiamo cominciare in che modo? Con un memorandum di intesa?
No, okay. Memorandum of understanding, we prepare our offices with our offices, and after we can begin to work concretely. Biogas, biocarburant, and so on. We can work very much in this problem, this possibility.
We would think that would be nice if that's why we came with those who are directly in charge. Take for example in agriculture, the person in charge and the person in charge in the vocational education, so I will be able to work out something with your officers, so I will know where to start from and how to start from, and then how to commence.
Nuisance lele.
I don't know if it's just me, right? These mofos, right? You traveled to Italy to go and discuss vocational training, education, vocational education. Is that something new in Nigeria? You travel to Italy. The entire Italy, right? If you put all the whole Italy together, they don't reach, let me use maybe 2 states. They don't reach Niger State, Niger, Kwara, Kaduna combined, right? Like, what is it you want to go and learn from them in Italy? Vocational training on how to train people on technology. Like, I don't understand. In this day and time, like, you need to go and like travel to Italy to go and discuss agriculture. I know, I understand that they just have to put up this theatrical show, okay? Like a performative stuff to make it look like, you see, we are working and all of that stuff and that. In 2025. Similarly, thiefnubu launched what he called Health Fellows, right? It is an initiative to, according to him, to train people. I don't even understand what this, like, are they training them as auxiliary nurses new or healthcare, kind of like assistant? I don't know, because there are schools in Nigeria where people are being trained on healthcare or in healthcare stuff, So these schools are not adequately funded to start with. But I decided to keep this, right, for the last, by the way, because it's the boring part. So thiefnubu, that doesn't use the Nigerian healthcare system, his family doesn't use it. His own political appointees don't use the healthcare in Nigeria, majority of them. However, he believes that he's putting together a team that will give you proper. I don't understand. I mean, I've been trying to make a sense of it, okay, but it just wasn't making it. Okay, but for the record, he had this to say about his idea. Please watch this.
Fellows, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this program is a bold and transformative initiative that underscores my administration's commitment to harnessing the power and potential of Nigeria's greatest asset, the young people. This country is a land of immense opportunity, with natural resources, a rich cultural heritage, and most importantly, a dynamic and useful population. We have over 60% of our citizens under the age of 30. We possess one of the largest and most energetic, resourceful and dynamic youth populations in the world. Our youth population present us with an unparalleled opportunity to drive innovation, economic prosperity, and social transformation. However, to harness the potential, we must invest in our young people, and that's what we are doing today. Equip you with the skills, platforms, and responsibility that will enable you people to become the best selves as you shape our nation's future. You are the one to do it. With vision in mind, this administration has championed the National Health Fellowship Program. We are very proud of this. A rigorous and transparent initiative to select some of our most talented young minds from a competitive pool of over 300,000.
Sorry, it's because of our time, so I don't want to waste much of your time anymore, okay? Health fellows are not health professionals, by the way. The idea, according to the people who put the fake nonsense together, is to, for example, let's say you want to put, you know that time where they do, that time where they would send people to come and give, people some dose of vaccines and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's always I think I can't remember now. Sorry, it's been a while. And they will recruit everybody from everywhere and say, okay, come for 1 week or for 2 weeks. So we're going to pay you 10,000 naira. We're going to pay you 50,000 naira and all of that stuff, right? That's what thiefnubu is putting together. It's all fake. I have some reminder here, something to remind you of. In February 2024, thiefnubu's Attorney General of Nigeria, Akpabiole, went to court. Okay, he went to court before then. It was in February that the court delivered this judgment. Supreme Court ruled that local government autonomy, which means thiefnubu's regime should pay the local governments their allocations directly, because that's what he asked for. He wanted the court to rule. But it was a fraud. Because for the local government areas in Nigeria to receive the allocation directly from Abuja, you must first amend the Constitution of Nigeria. Which means that is where the genesis is. You must amend the Constitution. And then you go on to implement the amendment. He didn't do that. So he went on to tell people that the local government autonomy has now been ruled by this Supreme Court of Nigeria. And up to this moment, Shishi Shingbai has not been paid directly to the local government areas in Nigeria. It's been listed as part of thiefnubu's achievement, by the way. It has been listed that thiefnubu his regime is now going to be paying directly. They will be paying the local government areas directly. Great achievement. In January 2024, that's over a year ago, thiefnubu promised or made a pronouncement then that by May 2024, his regime will begin to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. Brethren, it's almost a year now. So they shifted it to they shifted it to August 2024. Then they shifted it again to September 2024. Then they shifted it to December 2024. Then they shifted it to January 2025. Brethren, this is March 2025. Buying minimum wage has not been paid. I heard that Seamless Fubara is the one that has now ordered that one too. He ordered people in December to start paying the 84,000 minimum wage. They no pay them. He ordered them in January. He ordered them in February. I just read it this afternoon that Fubara has ordered the accountant to start paying the minimum wage in River State. Oh, now Bobo. Shengbai. I thought I should remind you. Listen, thiefnubu took the pump price of PMS from 167 naira per liter to 610 naira per liter to 900 naira per liter to 1,200 naira per liter, all within 2 years. Today, the Dangote, NMPC, they are now in the media telling people that they have reduced the pump price of petroleum, and guess what? The price of transportation hasn't changed. It hasn't. So if you have fed propaganda enough that you get gaslighted by these rogues, I am here to remind you of some certain things that they have already taken. They've already taken medals for. Like, okay, give me a badge of honor, give me a medal. Yeah, see what I have done. Give me a medal. They are wearing medals for, but there are no evidence of them fulfilling them. Thought you should know. Anyway, on the other side, I've got a longer clip of him, but there's no point in wasting our time listening to all of that. Okay, so let me delete them. I need to show you this. To those of you in Abuja, remember that time when I said, you see, propaganda only work on people who are part of those who are willing, who are praying that all the lies they are being told, they are praying for them to be true. The food price will come down very soon. God alone, God please let it come down. No. Insecurity will become a thing of the past very soon. Insecurity, let it be a thing of the past too. And then they will come back and say, oh, everything is fine now. Nigeria is progressing. Everything is fine. Food prices are coming down. Everything, they say, man, I pray that it is true. Have you not heard that the food prices are coming down? And it's coming down in the north. It's coming down in the this and that. Here you get. Because they are praying, they are hoping that it will be true. And I said, listen, propaganda, lies, they can be easily detected. Not, especially in this day and time. Only those who want to believe lies will believe lies. In this day and time, you have access to information that even when they're lying to you, the propaganda and all of that shouldn't work on you. It shouldn't. They said that thiefnubu is cultivating land, 10,000, 50,000, 1 million acres of land. They are growing food across Nigeria. Lies. I said, if indeed they have any farm, even if not just 1 acre of land, 1 acre of farm, that thiefnubu is actually like his government, growing food anywhere. They will plaster the video, the pictures, everything on your face, on social media, on the street. They will bombard you with pictures, with videos. Because it's not true. It's all lies. Coastal road from Lagos to Calabar will cost Nigeria 18 trillion naira. And according to Devulumayi, the project was to be delivered by 2028. 5 years, they said, they will use to construct the over 700 kilometers road to Calabar, 700 kilometers back to Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to tell you today that nearly 2 years after they gave the Shaguri, nearly 2 trillion naira, the construction of this their coastal road from Lagos to Calabar, they've only done about 25 kilometers. 25 kilometers out of 700 out of 1,400 kilometers. If you go to that route now, you will see all the grading there. Those of you who are in Lagos, they are grading here and there. They've reduced the number of lanes from 10 lanes. They've reduced it to 6, which means 3 on this side, 3 on this side. The demolition of landmark, beach resorts, right? It has come back to be a very wrong decision, but it wasn't really a wrong decision. It was intentional. 700 kilometer road to 700 kilometer road back, 1,400 kilometers of a supposed 10-lane road has been reduced to, and guess what? In these last 2 years, 2 years out of 5 years, so remaining 3 years, so in 2 years, they've only constructed about 38 kilometers of the road. And when I say construct, not that they've completed 48, no, they've not completed. You can see the work going on. And in 2 years, the going on work has done 38 kilometers. 38 kilometers out of 1,400 kilometers. Abba, tell me, what a progress. It's all lies. So they said if we want to build 100,000 houses, and they call it a renewed hope, I call it renewed shege. Sorry, this thing, it's just like a falling apart everywhere. Maybe because I'm supposed to be standing, right? Pardon me. 10,000 or 100,000 houses called renewed shege estates. Here is the latest from that part of Abuja. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Emma Paro for me. No lie. Please don't lie to me. Yeah? If they say they are building 100,000 block of houses, flats, in 3 geopolitical zones, and they have one from Abuja, how many thousands of houses do you think this is?
There is the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed driving into the 3,112 housing unit, renewed Hope City, for a project inspection. The structures. Just look at the impressive progress that has been made. About 1,000 units are scheduled for commissioning by the President in the early part of this year. Impressive walk all the way.
Oh yeah, guys, you guys should bring it up now. Let me.
This side is a beehive of activities. A lot of people have been employed, earning a decent living on this side. It's impressive.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. I mean, that's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
70 years old man.
Somebody said that from what they saw in that video, that could be up to like 500 units. But they said it's over 1,000 units, by the way. And they want to build 100,000 units. So from the 100,000 units, like I said, if they are doing something, they will flaunt it. They will flaunt it. You will see them show and brag, make amateur videos about it. And sometimes they just won't. Because the more they try to want to put the wool over your eyes, the more they get exposed. So finally, because of our time. Finally, you see those guys who were brandishing Shakabula yesterday in Rivers State because of Fubara, as well as Werey Wike and others. They made another video. Here it is.
Yes, we don't come. As on our youth on assembly member, come out our governor, Fubara, for seat. I beg with the tell now, because he don't go good though. He don't go good though. I'm so go. See, go good tell now. We're gonna leave the way and make it real mistake. And then, make it take care of all responsibility where they worry our state. No be honor, go use an assembly, come out our governor for us. If not, all strangers where they can do business, we go pursue them come out. No gonna listen and listen very careful. And I go hear bloodshed. If I don't agree, we say we don't go agree. All the oil installation will go attack them from land to sea. All the company, they go full. If honor, try come out our governor for seat. We not go agree. Asamana.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people who are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger. Because some people will be at indoor. There's no way to make a home.
Thank you, Jerry Professor. You've done your part. The rest is upon us. So, Azawana, leave our governor alone. No, when you finish your work, if you remove our governor, we will begin to go after anybody that is doing business in our state. Right. Anyway, I have stretched my time. Now, if you are interested, look at your screen, right? If you are interested in contributing to this conversation this evening, right? The number to call is right there on your screen. Use it. I'm going to be back in a minute or two, okay? And then we shall take calls or more. Thank you so much, brother. That is my own man. I call him Omor. Omori. So, Samuel. How do I pronounce the name again? Let me say it again. 1 second. Pardon me, Omor. I'm trying to bring up your name in the comments so that I can overweight. Okay. Omor, thank you so much for reaching out as well. Okay, Baba. I am going to go on a short break. When I come back, of course, I'll take calls. Remember, if you have to call in, if you want to call in, okay, it is a WhatsApp call only. Please don't try and call directly. I'll be back.
You get it?
Okay.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
Forget about it. So I think I have my first caller on the line this evening. It's a senator. Which of the senators are you, sir?
Yeah.
Hello.
This is a senator of Canada, not that of Nigeria, because I'm
only
not an
trying
idiot.
to use your screen name to address you. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. We really enjoy your presentation today. And I just want to comment on two things. One, for Natasha. You know, these people, Ada, Iriti, Natasha, they are all rocks. They are all the same. But, you know, the problem is this Natasha, he just beautiful, but he's not smart. You know, if you want to fight the devils in that chamber, you have to be smart with it. Something like that. I mean, something, if, let's say, Akpabiole made some sexual advancements to her, something like that, I expected her to play along to get enough evidence to nail Akpabiole. Just ordinary chat. You can just like, see what they did to Baba Jesha. You know, Baba, that comedian, Baba Jesha, something like that. How do you, something like, no, you know, you can just play along, you know, say, oh no, Senator, how do if you want me to be a good guy, I can be, you know, just be chatting, just be testing each other, collecting, chatting. You can even set him up. Okay, which hotel do you want to get all your evidence? Then your husband maybe you can just get this hotel, and then you tell your husband, then there's something like get camera, and then let them come and bust him there. Then with that, he has no, there won't be any escape route for him.
Out of it. But you don't even
something
know if
like
that. If there is actually an evidence, we don't know now. Okay, if there are evidence that if a petition was accepted, she will be asked to present evidence. You know that.
Now,
but now
you said something maybe some days ago about because she will not. You said she might not get justice.
Yes.
In that their senator she won't get a justice. And then she said that if she has any evidence, she should flood social media.
I said she has a very huge followership on social media. Release her
on social media. You know, there are some cases that will have been swept under the carpet in that country, if not for this social media.
I know.
So that once your evidence is already in the public domain through the social media, even those people, you will see 50% of all those senators backing Akpabiole, they will tactically withdraw their support. Because they know, because once it's in the public, even something like that, they just tell the man, "Oga, I'll make you just step down," or something like. But now,
he has rebound right now.
Yeah,
he's recovered. Yeah,
Yeah, and they have gone out to a defensive side.
I get you.
Something like. So then that's the and then look at this Remi Tinubu, that stupid woman. When during this time of Bukola Saraki, she disrupted the National Assembly sitting.
Yes.
And then nobody suspended her. One thing about this is this APC Tinubu and his family, all those and his gang. What they are dishing out to what they did in the past, they can't take it now. In fact, what they are doing now, Alagbafo wrote him that he wants to muscle the opposition, and when PDP was in power, if PDP had muscled them, then Tinubu wouldn't have gotten to where he is today.
Because the argument of other people is that whose fault is this? Is it the fault of the opposition who cowered, or the fault of thiefnubu that wants a one-party state? Whose fault is it that thiefnubu is having his way? What thiefnubu dished out is what they don't want to take from anybody right now. And whose fault it is that is having his way?
And then And then you know the most useless among them are those Labour Party lawmakers.
Total disappointment, aren't they?
Because we know PDP and the only difference between PDP and APC is just the difference between 12 and a dozen. That's the only difference between them. Yeah, and 6 and a half a dozen. That's the only difference between them. And then the Labour Party that came on board through the obedience tsunami. So and then they are the most useless among them. And then they have the sizable number that can form an opposition in that hollow chamber. But like one lunatic said,
I know.
Like one lunatic said that he knew where he was 8 years ago. You know, it's nauseating. I was just, it's nauseating hearing that kind of history and that kind of stupid talk. Say because you're now praising Akpabiole as if Akpabiole was your god. That's nonsense. You know,
like using age to describe a colleague. You know what I mean?
Imagine
that she can't even be your junior sister. Like,
you know, my brother.
You should have brought your sisters to the National Assembly now.
Yes, now that country is gone. That country, like as Shore said, we don't have a criminal justice system. It's the criminals have hijacked the justice system. That's that. There is no criminal justice system in Nigeria. It is the criminals that have hijacked the justice system. That's what we are seeing now. You know, their judiciary is in a big mess. It's what they want the judiciary to say, what the judges what they will say. And that's the problem. Like the same Supreme Court that said that 5-man now assembly in Plateau State is now saying that it's absurd. It's an absurdity to for a 4-man to be a 4-man to be in the River State. Something like that, you know. They don't even mind the consistency of their rulings. They just like there is a ruling pattern for APC. There's another ruling for others. Is what you want to make a ruling. They will make a ruling for AP, the one that will suit APC. Then they don't mind whether the one they are giving APC will contradict the one they will give to the other people. They will just their set of shameless individuals.
Thank you so much.
Anybody that is still thinking that country will be better.
Thank you again. Thank you so much. For your contribution. Okay, let me take another one. It's good to have you on tonight. Okay, thanks a lot, sir. So let's have this. I have another call on the line, and I bet. Hello,
Mayego.
Hello, sir.
Good evening.
How are you doing, Papa?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. This is Chooks calling from Northampton.
Yes, that's Chooks. Chooks, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Class. Thanks so much for
welcome back, man.
Go on.
Welcome back, man. don't dare travel to America again.
Really? Why do you say that? Because I'm planning to.
Hey, man, we miss the proper show.
Right. What happened is that I won't travel to America that long anymore because I missed all of you.
Yeah.
I actually did. And I'm just recovering from the jet lag as well.
I didn't mean to say don't enjoy your life, you know.
Well, not stretch anymore. Yeah. 17 days. That's a lot.
Yeah. I just want to say, good evening to you and all the viewers.
Thank you.
And the first caller, please, if you're listening, please let us be guided. Let us respect this woman. Full respect. You don't understand. Listen, I've fought a big fight in Nigeria, right? I've always stand up for my right in Nigeria. It doesn't matter when. When I was there, when I go back there, I always stand up for my right. And I know what she's feeling now. Okay?
What it is like.
I tell you, you see all these people talking now, right? You go on a public bus. You see that Lagos bus, right? And somebody is there who didn't pay, right? And the ticket man comes in, catch this person. All you hear from that bus is, please, 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 let him, it's just him, it's just this, it's just that, right? And when you stand up to say, what are you talking about? This is where the government get the money to pay the drivers, to pay all these people working. This is why we don't have job. Man, they will attack you straight away. Right?
Yep.
This I'm telling you is a personal experience.
You're
okay?
Right. I mean, it is their stock and trade anyway.
I said, instead of you begging, right, just go ahead and pay for it. Because somebody must pay for it. Okay?
Yep.
So, and everywhere God lose. You know, sometimes you might even escape with your life. I'm telling you this.
You're lucky.
I've been in a first stack to collect my to do my ID card, right?
Right.
The national ID card. As it gets to my turn, because when I went with my kids, right? When they see us, you know. When they speak, you know. Okay? Immediately it gets to my turn, the paper is finished.
Right.
Unless I bring money for them to go and print this paper. Right? You know what I did?
Wow.
I said, hold on. Can I see the paper? He gave me the paper. I said, nothing is going to happen here until you deal with me. Right? Guess what?
Wow.
Those who are behind, if you don't have the money to pay this, not just come here and speak big English. You get out of the way. Bro, at a point, I have to make a phone call. Say, if any one of you is old enough, let the person just touch me. Don't beat me. Just touch me. Right? I have to make a phone call for the real people to come around.
Right.
Do you understand that?
This is about to go down here.
So what I'm trying to say, right? Thank God you displayed after that conversation with the first caller, right? You displayed what she said. Her last statement on that floor. Yeah. Look, I don't think she is that stupid because of the word that
from Chooks. You see, your position is so great. All right. Nigeria is a place where, for example, if you are in a bus, in a commercial bus, right, and then you see these policemen collecting bribes on the roadside.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, on this road.
Yeah.
And it gets to the turn of your commercial bus driver, and he refuses to pay. From inside the bus, right, 90% of those people inside that bus will begin to attack the driver.
They will nearly beat him up.
Give them money now, say we never pay uni. Give them, you are delaying also, pay them. So that is why you will see, you know, as we say that not many Nigerians actually hate corruption, you know?
Yeah. No. You know why I'm saying this, right?
Yep.
The first word that comes out of the first caller's mouth is, she's not smart. That is denigrating, please. That is denigrating. She's not smart and she stand up against these people. Do you know what we're talking about? I don't think any one of us envisage what she is into. And I don't believe she will just come up
like just
to
make
speak
up that kind of a thing.
and have this confidence without huge amount of evidence. Do you understand that? So let's wait for her. Let's wait for the real time for her to release. Then we can judge. For anybody judging this lady by now, oh man, I don't take side with that. I don't take side because I've been there, right? I've fought so many times that nearly take my life. Okay? In Nigeria, I'm telling you. So I know what it takes to stand up in Nigeria. Look at how they were disgracing her, doing all kinds of things. Can you stand up?
And they are all attacking her personality.
Listen, if this lady is not smart, right? she will break down right in front of that place. Do you know? Not even a man can withstand that. Not so many of us can withstand that. Do you understand what I'm saying? The problem we have in Nigeria is we cherry pick. We pick when it suits us. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. You see, like all these people on TV, right? Including our great Rufai. All of them, they cherry pick.
They do.
None of them can be excluded. I'm telling you. Okay? I remember when we're talking about democracy. This is not democracy. They are telling us that the worst democracy is better than the military.
Lie.
Who told you that? Who told you that? I was a child growing up during the military. I have never seen this type of disobedience and all this. Okay?
No.
If it is during the military, you see what happened in Ikeja NEPA office, right? It won't go unpunished. It won't go unpunished. Do you know why?
Why?
These people are being paid to pay their bills. Where are the money going? Where are the money? So when we look at all these things, right, we cherry pick, then all of a sudden it's staring in our faces.
Jeez.
Then we realize that Nigeria is bad. Yeah. Then we just suddenly realize that Nigeria is bad. There's a lot of them on the street now, right? I used to see them speak highly of this government and all this, right? When I said they made it tribal before the election, after the election, during the court case, I know what they... All of them now are preaching
conversation with people anymore without it turning into tribal, ethnic, and religious. Now
many of them just realized, because they lost their businesses, they lost everything. They just realized that this is a killer government. Okay, so this is what we're facing. I remember the turn of Okwama. You see all this injustice, right? You think it's not going to come to you. Wait until it comes to you. Wait until it comes to you. I remember during the Okwama incident, people who are talking, you see them come on TV, just like you see them come on TV to attack Natasha today, right? Tomorrow it becomes them. You see everybody now, some of us who are naive, because that's how I'm gonna say it, will be on their side. Except if you know them, you know that they must have done one or two things in the past that doesn't suit with the real thing of a nation. Okay, so you see, I feel with the Air Force, right, going there to do this. If it is in the same country, first of all, right, the president or whoever that is in charge, the energy minister or the Air Force marshal, right, should investigate where is this money going. I heard the man saying that Buhari paid some. How can you pay something you've paid before? No inquiries, no nothing. Come on, man. Come on, man. You say sometimes when we discuss Nigeria,
you get mad. I mean, it's endless, all right. And sometimes if you pay attention to the madness going on in that place, the majority of them are mostly unbelievable. That's why they say if they explain Nigeria to you, and you are not mad, you are not angry, you don't explain it well.
You know, there's a friend who used to say, right, that thing that isn't not possible or impossible is already happening in Nigeria. You don't say this is impossible. No.
This can never happen.
No.
I haven't been to Nigeria yet.
No, you can't. As far as Nigeria is concerned, you can never say this can never happen because it doesn't. Thank you, Mr. Mayegu.
God bless you.
And have a great
from that perspective,
weekend.
by the way, thanks a lot for that contribution. Indeed. And you too can be part of this. The number to call is right there on your screen, I think. Sorry, I can't see that now, but those of you who have the number saved, yes, you too can be on the other end right now, adding your own contribution, just like the first two callers. Nigeria is a place where abnormalities are totally normalized rather. So it is a place where sometimes is it sometimes or all the time, if you, for any reason, decide to pay attention to the happenings, some of them, sometimes you feel like, this is impossible. Is this even happening? It is Nigeria. And listen, the people themselves, they are not different from their own leaders, by the way, or should I say, all these criminals that you see parading themselves as leaders, they are the true reflection of the people they are supposed to be leading. You just need to pay attention and you realize that the fruit, I mean the mango, did not fall far from the tree. My first caller, Senator, is calling back to possibly respond to that. You only have this chance, and it's only 2 minutes you've got, sir. Hello.
Hello, sorry. This is Mr. Kola. I am calling back. Let me quickly respond.
I know you're calling back because you want to say something about the last one, right? Please.
Please. Point of correction. I didn't mock Senator Natasha. No. What I was emphasizing was that Nigeria is a lawless country. You remember there was a time the Inspector General of Police said that people should stop posting all these police illegalities online. That they should rather report, because they know that if they come to report to them, they will cover everything. That's right. Will sweep everything under the carpet. But they know that once you get to the social media, there's little they can do to cover to do any cover up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That see, Senator Natasha has gone to court. Which court? Is it not the same court that is under the? You see what your first lady said. Remi Werepe, what he said. That means that his husband is involved, right? Because it's Akpabiole is Tinubu's eyes. It's a rubber stamp for Tinubu. So and then they know. You remember one a senator when there is a section in this constitution that said that their procedure can be the court, the judiciary can look into their case. Now they say that no court can. They know what they are doing. They do. That's what they are doing because they know that the judiciary is in their pocket.
And they also have uneducated population as well. That is also one huge problem. The elephant.
That's what I didn't. Sorry, so I didn't mock Senator Natasha, but I was making that statement in context of the lawlessness of that country called Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
If you are dealing with lawless people, then you at least they show, if not for social media, at least there are some justices we are our people are against because of the social media.
I get you.
So that's my point.
It's okay. It is expected when you make a position, okay? Yeah. There are thousands of people listening, okay? And therefore they will react. It's expected. And thanks for the clarification, okay? And you have a good one, sir. Okay. Thank you. That is Sake, caller from Canada, the CKC, so to say. So indeed, both of you are right. Hyukso, Sakeo, you are both right. So my first caller believed that the only place this guy fears is the social media. Now, sometimes you may think these rogues, okay, they are above everything. But we have seen how much they fear social media. It is not an accident. There are some certain things that if it makes it to the social media, it is going to be out of their control. And a case like this, that means if Natasha had an ulterior motive, this is my own kind of understanding of, if she had an ulterior motive against Akpabiole, probably she would have done that. Ulterior motive means I'm going to destroy this man. I'm going to, you know what I mean, like that. And I'm going to use that as weakness to get to him, and it's easier. I'll set him up. Well, you and I don't even know what she has. She can't just wake up and make this allegation, right? So we expect her to have some level of evidence that she would be expected to present to their own committee there, or the committee of the public opinion. Yeah, bring it to the court of the public opinion. It's not over yet. Here, one name.
One name
the number.
One name the number. The great man, the lion himself.
Baba, how are you?
Well, thank God, Jerry.
Bless you.
Welcome back. We've missed you a lot, man.
I know, I've missed all of you too. It's good to be back.
Missed you a lot.
Thank you. Osita.
You come to Atlanta, so we're longing to see you. Me and
we'll have our own time there too, you know.
And anyway, welcome back.
Thank you. Osita, please.
I must commend you. I love your family. Your daughter with her so much energy.
Man, thank you. She's man, I don't know how to describe her. Like I said that sometimes I get frustrated. Like, if I'm gonna die, she's gonna be the one to probably contribute to, you know, she gets away with a lot, and she's got this audacity that I can't really explain it. I love her.
Yeah, I believe she's just like you. Mark my word.
So. Okay, female version of me. That would be wonderful. Then.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Anyway, you know, the first thing I would say is that do not die in their war.
Don't die in their war. Please.
Yes. Do not die in their war. All these things, trust me, is a distraction to the belief that we have, or to the conclusion that we've already have concerning the contraption.
And it could be a huge distraction from something big that is happening that we are not yet paying attention to.
Yes, because on a more serious note, they said the most extended movie industry in the world is Nollywood, and you won't be so surprised that what we are saying is that a producer in Nollywood is actually writing tips for them,
right?
And they are carrying it out because someone who knows that she's not going to get justice, she's more informed than me when it has something to do with the evil they contribute individually to the destruction of that contraption. He knows better than I do. You will not tell me that you know that you cannot get justice in their judiciary. They used to say that judiciary is the last hope of a common man. But in Nigeria, it's the opposite, it's the reverse. It is the only judiciary that you can see in the world. And consistently, they will tell you that white. They will ask you, what color is this? You say it's white. They will tell you who told you it is white. And they will tell you that that thing is not white. So she already knows that. Because if she is so much eager, determined to do something, by now we will have been seeing a lot of things flying on the social media.
That's what I expected too, but I just don't want to be like, I don't want to, it's like, I don't want to jump the gun.
Yeah, so, but we are not seeing it. And that is the reason. Even this morning or yesterday night, a friend of mine called me. He wanted to say this thing. And I said, I don't want to listen to this because I've not seen enough to warrant me to talk about it. But I'm just talking about it here because of we are here as one family. So nobody is exonerating or saying what Akpabiole did is right. But before I have to come down to that particular, if you have something at which a tool for me that which I will use to go against this man right now, I am going to go against it because everybody knows Akpabiole is always like this. The woman that he had problem with in the NDDC is a living witness. What happened between him and that woman is still the same thing that has to do with harassment. But yet that man that is a predator, because he couldn't defend. He never said anything concerning that woman's allegation.
He ignored that totally.
Yeah.
When he was asked that question about her, right? He said, I remember, I've been looking for that video, by the way. I haven't seen it, okay? It was asked about that woman. Is it true? And then Akpabiole was like, she's just a disgruntled woman. He never had any contact with her. And she was working in his office. The NDDC stuff then, right?
Yeah.
So, and then that's it. He just downplayed it. I also have this, Osita, sorry, right? I also have this personal sort of disgust for the Nigerian media. Most of the time when they bring these guys onto their TV to discuss some of these issues, you realize that they are not actually, they didn't bring them to probe them and present some counter evidence to, you know, like you bring somebody, you invite somebody about an issue. You've not done your own investigation. But meanwhile, you bring them onto your TV only for the whole thing to be sounding like image laundering for them. Right? Exactly. So that's a personal disgust I have for this Nigerian media. It's like they are always there to shield these guys and then be more, you know, what do you call it, be more searchlights on the victims. Have you noticed that?
Yes. So to buttress that fact to you that you're looking at, you ask yourself, if they hijack Nigeria, they hijack the judiciary, is it the media? The media is nothing to them because they actually foot the bills of this media company. So one way or the other, they own all these companies that you're looking at. That is the reason they are trying to destruct the mainstream media all over the world. Because if they destabilize the mainstream media, they own it. Then what kind of news are you going to hear? That is the reason I told somebody the other day, I hardly listen to, even in America here, I hardly listen to Fox News or CNN, or I only watch
but they
YouTube
are all
channel.
the different organs of propaganda. Depends on who is using them. Republicans, Democrats, they are, you know, they won't give you the balanced report. I get you.
They've been hijacked. So that is the same thing you see in Nigeria. No media group is willing to say the truth. They don't even speak the fact, how much more saying the truth or answering the truthful question. That they will say that, oh, this question is truth to power. None of them does that. So that's the reason I am not blaming her for fighting back. But if she has to fight back, let her bring some proof to us so that people can support her. But if she can't bring that truth, I am sorry. Let's not even talk about it. And let us face what we are facing. What are we facing? We have seen it. This country, that country, Nigeria, is irredeemable. The only solution to that country is to break it off. It's irredeemable. Nobody can get justice for anything. Because even within their ranks, within their ranks, even the lesser evil within their ranks can't even get justice. Within their own rank, can't even get justice. And it brings me to the fact that we're talking about the Labour Party members in the National Assembly. Believe me, those ones that you are calling Labour members, none of them campaigned. They only rode on the back of P2B, and people voted for them. Nobody knows them. Nobody knows their capacity. Those ones too, it's not because of his Labour Party. They are criminals there too, waiting for their own
some of them too, by the way, Osita, if you don't forget, some of them who became Labour Party representatives, they became so because they couldn't secure PDP APC ticket. Remember?
Exactly.
Some of them had to run to that Labour Party that moment, join the obedient movement because they.
Yeah, if you go and look at most of their acceptance speech of all of them, they were still letting you understand that they never believed that they were going to be voted in.
No.
So those people are not tested. None of them, nobody saw them campaign or asked them question anywhere. None of them went to campaign anything. Some of them didn't even do one single campaign, but at the end of the day, they won. So just because of the party, because of P2B was there. So what we all are trying to say is that I will just advise us, let us not fight over their own matter. Please. Thank you very much, my brother.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you too. Okay, you stay safe, Baba. Good to hear from you. All right. So I have CA from Atlanta on the line. CA, how you doing, sir?
Atlanta, yeah.
That's CA from Atlanta.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is exactly 5:55 p.m. Sunny cold day in Atlanta.
5:55 p.m. Brilliant. Did you say cold?
Cold, but sunny. You know how it is. It's sunny, but it's cold too. Not too cold though.
I get you.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much for calling in, okay? Please.
Thank you and welcome back. Next time, like Osita said, we'll host in Atlanta by the grace of God.
Amen to that. And it shall be this year. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So you can see what is happening in Nigeria. You can see the bunch of, I'm sorry to use these words, please. You can see the bunch of idiots we have in the house. You can see the caliber, and when people talk, when you talk on your program, some idiots will say that Mayagu, you are too pessimistic, blah, 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 blah. Because we already know where the country is headed and where the country is right now. We already know. But what baffles me is those people that still believe that the country will be better. I don't know what gives them that impression. Look at the presidency, gone. Judiciary, gone. House of Reps, Senate, gone. The legislative arm is gone. So what is left?
Nothing. The military is compromised. Air Force.
This is where a country where if I have more money than you, if I have more money than you, and you talk to me anyhow, I'll go and lock you up.
That's it.
I'll lock you up. Nothing happens. So we have a country where a big man can lock a poor man up. We have a country where the legislature will not investigate anything and suspend anybody they want to suspend.
But they will start acting based on their own feelings.
Yes. We have a country where elections are not held and winners are declared. We have a country where the judiciary will give ridiculous judgments. Ridiculous judgment. A man that not contest election is the Senate president.
Today.
A man that came fourth in an election is the governor of a state.
That's right.
So tell me, with all this that is happening, tell me how any reasonable person, any sane person, will still believe in that contraption called Nigeria. Tell me, Mayogu, how anybody, any right-thinking person, listen to this program. Now, I'm talking to everybody listen to this program. I'm talking to everybody listen to this program today. That ask yourself that question. If you still believe that things are going to get better in Nigeria. I'm above 50 years. I'm above 50 years old now. I have been watching what's happening in Nigeria since I was a kid till now. And people still believe it's going to be better. Better when? My father is dead. My father is one of those that believe that Nigeria is going to be better. He's dead right now. And we still have those coming from behind me talking about, no, if we have to make sure our electoral laws, which electoral laws are you talking about?
Laws.
Which electoral law are you talking about? No, the country can be good if you can get good electoral laws. If you can get this. Who is going to make the laws? Who's going to implement the laws?
Implement it.
And I see young people still echo such sentiment, such fallacy as sentiments. That the country can be good if we can put our electoral act together. We can do this together. In which country? That's what I'm asking. Which country are you talking about all this stuff? Margo, I'm so angry. I'm sorry to shouting and using this file. It's just unbelievable. How people just sit down and think that the country will be okay. And when you talk, they criticize you. When Dangote refinery was coming, you told us what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. They were saying, no. What's happening today? They bring out student loan. You told them it's not going to work. What's happening today?
Because there's no sincerity in all of these things. You cannot be using propaganda, right? Propaganda to run things, and you channel your energy into using propaganda on what ordinarily should do his own talking. It should do his own publicity itself. You have student loan or whatever you call it, right?
Babangida is writing a book. Babangida is writing a book, and people are clapping. I remember then, at dollar time, people lost their lives trying to escape to Lagos. It was almost like there was going to be a war. People died. And this man is coming now to launch a book, and people are clapping and buying the books.
Now,
you can see the clique of people that we have as leaders. Look at all the leaders we have. Let's say democratic. Let's forget that idiot Buhari as a military man. Okay, let's just start from that. Look at Buhari was the military. Babangida, Abacha, Shehu Shagari. Just let me look at Buhari. Look at the whole of the kind of caliber of people we have as president and the head of state. They expect Nigeria to be good. You should know where Nigeria is because of those people. Thank you, Mayogo.
God bless you. See, you have a good one, okay? I have another caller, but just before we take that, our time is now fast spent. Sorry that I had to use about 15 minutes from the calling time in my own presentation. So I may give that back, okay? But I want to remind us, the viewers, listen, we are going to be rounding it up in another maybe few minutes. So if you haven't really liked this broadcast, I urge you to please do, okay? If you haven't subscribed onto Mayogun's Diary Political, again, I also urge you to. And then let's hear from Adeola. Adeola, brother.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
But we did very okay, very quick one. Just say me, I just go to
go for it.
No long thing. Now, but that contraption is a joke. It's a big joke. It's a gift that keeps giving.
Yes.
It's a gift that keeps giving. You know, just watching the NAS proceedings just confirms everything. And it's nightmarish watching those things. It's nightmarish. Whereby men gang up. And, you know, you can't even see anything that they are doing. No visible change.
No.
And you can't expect a visible change from a float contraction without any legitimate constitution backing them. No election, just declare, your former caller said, you just declare winners. Declare winners.
Yep. And if you're not comfortable with it, go to court.
Go to court. Go to court. And that's a long see. At the end of the day, the part that I really, really feel sad, about is the youth. Is the unemployed youth, is able-bodied men with brains, that opportunity. Those are the key, key points. Because after all has been said and done, it's not good for people to be without opportunity,
I know.
So many years ago, I peered into Lagos State skills reports, and there wasn't any real attempt to empower people. There wasn't any real attempt. I looked at Lagos State skills reports, different local governments, to see what they were doing, how much they were spending, how many people they were empowering. And I saw that.
Is that what people call the HDI, Human Development Index, or something like that?
Human Development Index, it's a driver that shows any economy is improving. Forget GDP.
It's going to actually have a real progress, or just movement without motion.
Exactly. So HDI, Human Development Index, is the real driver of change, not GDP. GDP is the aggregation of all the economic activities that goes on in a country for a particular point in time, after some adjustments have been made. But the real driver is social. It looks at social disharmony. It looks at social disharmony. Looks at how happy or how good or how optimistic you are about the future. Human Development Index. Those are the things that really, really drives an economy, that tells you the trajectory and the pattern that you are going towards. Happiness index. But underneath those things is the training, human capital development. When I saw Lagos State skills reports, they were single-digit training of people, not double-digit or triple-digit. No, and those are the things that drive an economy. That drives an economy. So this government has told us times without number. They are unable to do that, And for me, it's a ticking time bomb.
It is enough to let you know that if you are telling people that there is no future for this place, you have the stats, you have the data to back what you are saying. And if things remain this way, your own position will remain valid forever. There is no future for that place.
Anybody doing like the rule that is following anyone up and down, following any position up and down, is not trained. What job can they go into? So you see, there's no real skill. You can't see if you are trained to put a phone together or to repair a phone. That is a transferable skill. You can repair phones. You can repair any digital gadget or any smart gadget. That's your skill. but there isn't any concerted effort to train anybody and to endow people with skills. And without, that's a missing link, Michael. So I don't see anything optimistic about that contraption. That in all we've said, Michael, this is where my heart sinks. Have a good night, sir.
You have a good one, Baba. Thank you so much for stopping by. And as usual, right? Thanks for that contribution, okay? So that's Adeola. I have a lady, I want to believe, because I'm about to wrap up right now, but having a lady on the line, I can probably use another few minutes to say, this is my last caller tonight. And a quick reminder as well, okay? Hang in there, my caller. Don't hang up, because if you do, I may not be able to get you back in, okay? So I just want to pass this quickly, right? So we are about to wrap up. So round it up now. Like this broadcast, okay, if you haven't already. Remember, here's hello, ma.
Hey, Michael.
Ma'am, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Welcome back.
You know, thanks for asking.
So, Michael, first of all, I'm going to talk strictly on Senator Natasha.
Please, I'm glad that I'm speaking to a lady that wants to say something about
I know.
that. Please. It's been men's show. People have been giving their own think pieces on this, and it's mostly men, you know. So now that I have a lady on record, right?
Yes.
Let's hear your position, ma'am.
Yes, sir. All right. First of all, I would want to thank Senator Natasha's husband for standing in with her. That is so commendable. Senator Natasha's husband is not a young man, and he knows what it will take for him to lose if he stands with the wife, and he did. So definitely that man must have heard and seen some things that the wife has presented to him.
She said
so for some of us, yes, so for some of us that we are so, bring out evidence. Sometimes things don't work like that. And we don't even know what is going on behind the scene. Remember, when this thing happened initially, Akpabiole was like, you could see that he was jittery.
He was shaking.
But after a day of thank you. After a day or two, he now got himself. Now they are doing all the charade. Yes, people giving him titles and so on. We should know that there's a lot of manipulation going on behind. Who are the people standing up for Natasha? They are the commoners. And who are the people standing up for Akpabiole? They are the so-called movers and shakers of Nigeria, so-called, in a very corrupt way.
That's right.
And we all know that they are the ones also that own the court and everything in Nigeria.
Yes.
However, I commend Natasha for people that think that, she can't go anywhere, she can't do anything. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
That's very smart. So true.
And for me, I am not talking just as a woman. I'm talking as a parent. For me, I don't have girls' children, but I have boys' children, of which I know that my future daughter-in-laws are my daughters. So I'm standing in for those girls. I'm standing for my nieces. I'm standing for every other woman out there that has been harassed in one way or the other. We shouldn't be seen by our genitalias. We should be seen by what we can bring to the table. And Natasha is a very smart girl.
Yes.
So why are we not looking at it that way? Just look at how the house has been just, how would I say, siding, and that's toggery for me.
No, it's bullying.
It's toggery.
They have to quickly come together because they are mostly guilty.
Exactly.
Too. You know something, ma'am? The substance of our allegation is so weighty that most people who are supposed to look into them, right, to look into it per se, most of them are guilty of the same accusation. If those who are being up right now, you realize that those who are supposed to actually look into this should never be sent to stand in judgment of this at all. You're right.
Exactly, and that is why they are siding with Akpabiole, because they are all in the same, it's bird of the same feather, they flock together. All those men that you are seeing there, and one very disappointing person, I wouldn't Yeah, she's disappointed. She really disappointed me. Ireti disappointed because we knew when Wike and the other guy were bullying her, we're like, oh no, this is not good. No, this is not
We
good.
had a program
But
on her. We did a
however,
program on her here.
yes, I
Trying to call the
remember
attention of people
that
that they are ganging up against her. But see how the whole thing turned around. See the turnaround now.
exactly. Even Remi, look at what happened to Remi and what's his name? This crazy man in Kogi. Yeah. And everything is swept under the carpet. So we should know that this thing is just a gang up against Natasha. Even if Natasha doesn't have so much evidence, something did happen. But we shouldn't take that for granted. If we are parents, we should stand up for our girl children. We should stand up, even boys, they get harassed too. We should stand up for people that are being abused. Today is Natasha's turn. Tomorrow it might be mine. The next day it might be Maegun's own. Yes. And who will come for us?
And
He is crying wolf. And we're all thank you.
Would I react the same way? Would you react if your daughter comes home and says she's been? Would you tell your daughter to go and apologize to the person she said harassed her?
Exactly. So see, we shouldn't. It's not sentiment now, but we should use our reasoning cap. We shouldn't say, "Oh, this." Let us just look at this thing and put ourselves in Natasha's shoes. But people are not doing that. They want to bring all forms of stuff. Oh, they all belong. Yeah, they can belong to the same clique, but something is happening. And how do we bring a change to these things that are happening? Do we just leave them alone and say, you know what? No. Natasha, yes, she has the common people on the street. I've been to programs like yours that people are speaking on these things and people are ready to march for Natasha, but it's just that they are not the elites. All those women that you see, they are giving Akpabiole a gift. Akpabiole, all of a sudden, we saw his wife, he's kissing his wife. That is a typical trait of a narcissist.
Like you are so right, a narcissist. Somebody who is saying, "Oh, look, I see all these beautiful women. None of them can say I ever harassed them." So therefore,
exactly. But people are just seeing past all that. They're seeing past all that. Please, we should look at these things. Let us put ourselves. If my child comes to me, if my niece comes to me, if my cousin comes to me, what would be my reaction? It shouldn't just be that, oh, it's happening on another side. You understand? We should personalize it.
I hope Natasha, I'm actually going to reach out to her because of this. Just something that I can press.
Yes,
see if I can see and bring her onto Maegun's diary political. It is
I'm
going to try. Okay, I'm going to try. Now, I'm going to try and see if we can press her to give us something. You get what I mean now?
Yes.
Or like you said, you also said the institution that was supposed to really do the investigation is allowed to do its job. They are the one in the better position to tell us that there is no evidence. You get that now? Not me and you trying to join the bandwagon or trying to condemn her, because that's exactly how the Nigerian society works. Condemn her. Push her to silence.
Exactly. Those people will never investigate, because even the people in the court, those ones that are in the judiciary, they're doing the same thing too. And even some of these women, look at Ikeja Senator Ikeja talking and talking. You know, I'm like, these women, they're just shameless. They are really shameless. If they have daughters, if they really value the girl child, they wouldn't do that. Even if they want to scold Natasha, if I am the one, I will never do it in public. I'd rather go zit and silent. But for them to come out like that and shame that woman, it's not good. You see? Why? That is all I want to say for me and Team Natasha.
Your position, and I'm happy that I am so glad that I didn't pass your call when it was on the screen. So thank you so much, ma'am. All right, we shall.
Yes, this is my truth.
You know, we shall continue to actually put the truth out there for everybody to see, and you can be judge. You know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would.
I appreciate
You're
this,
welcome.
Okay. I know.
You're welcome. Sorry, we couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't see when you came to Houston. Well, we are in Dallas, and I did tell your little friend that my husband is around. He's like, "Mommy, can we go?" I'm like, "When? Friday, you are going to school. I'm going to work. What do you want us to do it?" But he's looking forward to meeting you someday.
We shall meet someday.
That boy
soon.
is. Yes,
See,
yes.
What I discovered about your America, and this time around, my experience in the Houston is that it's too huge.
Yes,
somebody be driving 12 hours from El Paso to Houston in the same state.
And Dallas is around 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours.
Right? You know,
when somebody says, see, what I discovered again, ma'am, right, is that when somebody says, oh, it's just around the corner there, let's go. It's just don't follow them. Around the corner in America, in Houston, can take you about 40 minutes drive.
Exactly. Don't you see that slogan? They say everything is big in Texas.
Everything is big in Texas. That means
that is me.
I experienced it. I did. But it's wonderful, though, okay? So because when I gave people the address of where we wanted to have the meet and greet, right? Some people said, some people actually came, they drove an hour, 30 minutes to the place. We didn't use,
Yes.
You get that now? I'm like,
and then another.
Yes. So everybody can put into their schedule.
Yeah, and then the last one that I'll tell you something about Texas. Yes, first of all, they say everything is big in Texas, right? Then the second one, they talk about the weather, that the weather is like a woman. Her mood changes any day, anytime. So that is how the weather is in Texas.
That is so true. Again, ma'am, let me tell you my experience on that, okay? Because I experienced it. I did. When we go to Texas, when we go to Houston, it was warm. I had this Niger vibe feeling. Oh my God! So, I was wearing t-shirts, I was wearing tees, and I was wearing it was great, right? Then the sun was fine. Yes. That I started feeling like I was shining, my skin was shining. I was like, oh, this is great. Then 2 days later, this cold, just suddenly enveloped the entire city. I'm talking about me that came from Scotland, where cold is our second nature. Man, I have never felt that cold. Ever. It was so cold that bone chilling like that.
My God, you are lucky that I gave you 2 days of sunshine. You come out in the morning hot, in the afternoon it's raining. By the time you are going home after work, it's so cold. You'll be like, where is this coming from? So that is our weather. Yes.
Yes. It was fun. It was really wonderful. Okay. And I love your food. Bless all of you in that place.
Yes.
You are, it's amazing. Right? Every restaurant we got to, right, was busy. Every restaurant. Whether you go to the Mexicans, the Indians, the the Africans, and everywhere was busy. I was like, wow.
My God, we work a lot. So sometimes when we can't cook, we augment. And we have to have it almost like homemade, you understand? We work a lot. Yeah, like me, I work almost every day of the week. So
I know. Anyway, it's such an experience, and I want to have more of that. I won't lie to you. I want to experience it again. And then this time around, we are going to plan it. I promise you. We will plan it ahead.
Okay. As far as you're in Dallas, you see me and your little friend.
And I can't wait to. I really can't wait to. But say me well to to him. All right. I shall see some of you.
Okay, I will.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night.
So, good night. So this is where we're going to draw the curtain this evening. It's been wonderful having this chat with all of us. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. All right. And until then, please don't ever stop. Okay, watching Mayegun's Diary, Politico, Garba Life, my own. See, you know what Garba Life did for me? She called him from California, which is our own Celia. And then she was like, can you give me your address, your hotel address? I want to send something to the children. But Amazon came with boxes of, God knows, different cookies, chocolates. So when we were coming back, they are still in those boxes. So when we were coming back, Agbeke was like, how are we going to pack this now? It's going to take all the places. Maybe we should just leave. I was like, are you okay? I'm not leaving anything. Right now, all the boxes are now in my shelf there in the office. They are in there. So now, I have had some of them, by the way, Celia. And now I feel like, since I didn't have too much money to buy a lot of people gifts, now I'm going to be gifting them these lovely American chocolate cookies and stuff. Yeah? Thank you so much. Okay. And to the rest of you, right? Enjoy the rest of your evening. I shall see you again Until then, don't ever stop watching Mayegun's Diary Political. It's a good evening from here. And from here, good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun Diary Political. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí Predetermined bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.